welcome back to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 48. How you all doing? I hope you're having an amazing, what is it, a Tuesday? I don't know, it's 2 weeks in a row done on a Tuesday, because 2 weeks in a row the Milwaukee Bucks play on a Wednesday. So I guess get used to these Tuesday podcasts until suddenly the Bucks play on Tuesday, and then we're back on Wednesdays. Who really knows? But for right now, hey, it's consistently been on Tuesdays, and a little bit later start than usual today, but that's all right. How you guys doing? I am your host, as always, the Mr. Nintendo Prime, otherwise known as Nathaniel Janc, and in the middle, the hostess with the mostest. That's right, hostess.
Hostess with the mostess.
Eric Moore. How's it going, bud?
Good. How's it going, everybody?
And then, all the way over to your right, our newish, mostish, co-hostish, Mr. Mike Perez, otherwise known as Nintendo Academy. Now, I have a question for you quick, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your shirt, is it invisible or invincible? Invincible.
Oh, it's
Invincible. Yeah, Invincible.
I couldn't tell it for
Yeah, that's in honor of the Super Mario movie. Topic for today.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, so we have a bevy of topics to get to today. First will be, first we'll get to what we've been playing lately, do our normal banter. But then we have some other stuff to get to, including what we're kind of dubbing the Twitter Direct, which includes 3 big announcements that came out on social media: Super Mario movie, Xenoblade, Splatoon, all that. Believe it or not, guys, happened in the last week. Since our last podcast, all of that news landed. And it's weird. We did it on a Tuesday. So from Tuesday to Tuesday, we got all of this news in between.
Yep.
This feels almost like 2020 all over again in terms of let's just drop everything on Twitter. But we'll talk about that, and we'll go over each announcement and likes, dislikes, and speculation and all that talk. That's going to be our first big topic, which is sort of like since there's 3 things that got announced, sort of like a 3 mini topic, larger topic. We're going to talk a little bit about some issues with YouTube. I made a video about it today, but it's more of a grander problem, but just a certain YouTuber is highlighting some of the problems. And maybe even talk a little bit about the Twitter acquisition right before we get into fan topics. We'll take I'm not going to take a ton of fan topics today, guys, probably only like 2 or 3 from the chat on the live version of the podcast. Listening to the audio version, I'm sorry, you missed it. You had to watch it live. I might be making a way for even audio listeners, though, to submit topics for future podcasts if they want. So that is something I am looking into. I just don't have a methodology set up right now. For right now, I'm just trying to get our audio and our podcast channel actually caught up with all the episodes.
Right.
So, which, by the way, you guys should totally go subscribe to our Nintendo Prime Podcast YouTube channel, linked down in the description, whether it's the audio version or the live version. It's linked in both because we really want to push people over there. The last episode we put up there was actually the best organically viewed episode yet. It was not promoted by my channel, not promoted with a giveaway, and it got over 400 views, which we're really, really excited about that because that is pure organic viewership, and we'd like to see that. Yes, we have a much larger channel here. Yes, our podcast, our live version here ends up getting close to 2,000 views every week, and that's wonderful. You guys are awesome. But if you ever think, oh, there's an audio issue or the volumes don't sound quite right, all of that is corrected on that one. And someday, if I ever get time, we'll finally be able to segment certain parts of the podcast out, and you'll get some of that in between. But I just haven't had time. Although now that I am a 3/4 time YouTuber, maybe I'll suddenly find more time to split up the audio episodes into segments. I know it's kind of weird. Anyways, let's get into what have we been playing lately. It's the way we start off all of our podcasts. And I'm going to toss this out to Eric because I've been talking too much. How's it going?
It's going. I unfortunately haven't played anything this week since last time. It's been absolutely insane. Work again is just crazy stupid. I get home most days and it's just pass out while watching the Brewer game. So I know the next thing on my list is either starting Fractured But Whole or I still want to get Lego Star Wars and start playing that. Yeah,
I have it. If you just want to borrow my copy, I got a physical copy. If you just want to borrow it, save you some money.
Yeah,
That's
no,
nice.
I
That's
mean,
what's
I'm
about
not.
physical. We can actually pass it back and forth, and
Yeah.
I know you. I'll get it
Right.
back.
Yeah.
It's not like
No,
letting
and
my
I'm not-
kids.
I mean,
it's not
I'm
like
not-
letting my kids play it, and I don't
Right.
ever see it again.
Right. I'm not too worried about the money. It's just I would like to find the physical
deluxe
version,
edition?
but
The one I got.
yeah,
Hell
but yeah,
Get all
no,
the
I
DLC
haven't even
content plus
I haven't found
the little,
any
the little Luke
physical.
Skywalker.
I haven't found any physical
You can't find a
copies.
physical copy
No.
anywhere.
No.
Really?
Yeah, Walmart doesn't have it. GameStop didn't have it.
Best Buy.
I looked. Best Buy didn't have it.
Use my affiliate link. Order it to deliver in store, baby.
That's true. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that 22% kickback.
Yeah, right.
All of our Best Buy affiliate links, by the way, through like
You'll have to give me that.
October or September or whatever, gives me 22% kickback. Thank you, Best Buy, for partnering with us for that. And thank you, Nintendo, for allowing Best Buy to do that program. So it's really Nintendo that is doing that program. So see, Nintendo doesn't completely hate my channel.
Yeah. Right.
Although they have to go through a retailer for it. So maybe they do. They could just like tell me directly, hey, promote the eShop and give like the day Nintendo does affiliate programs.
Yeah,
That'll be the day. All right, cool. That sucks. Mike, what have you been doing? Please say you've been playing something.
Oh yeah. I played it.
There we go. You're redeeming us right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I got you, Eric.
Thanks.
Well, I this week I played Mario Party Superstars with the family. I played some Mario Party Superstars online. I went back to Ocarina of Time, played a little bit of that on the GameCube, by the way.
Nice.
GameCube, the GameCube, that special edition one they released, 2-pack, whatever. Played a little bit of Three Swords. I went back to Mario Kart Double Dash for a little bit. I noticed how fun that game actually was. Super fun. Hopefully they do something like that in Mario Kart 9. Went back to Kirby as well a little bit. I'm doing Kirby. There's this one at a time. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this till I get to the boss, beat that, and just stop right there. And then next time I play, do the same exact thing. Little by little, I don't want to go ahead and, I want to enjoy the game, just like you said last time. Just enjoy the game instead of just kind of pushing through. Well, yeah, I played quite a few games this year. Oh, I played Super Mario, the original Super Mario 1.
Nice.
I tried to speed run it. I was just trying to be adventurous and speed running. My time was like 6 minutes, the entire game.
Dang.
That was fun.
Going all retro on us over there.
Yeah. I was feeling nostalgic this week. I'm like, I need to go back to some retro games, because I know there's a lot of new games out there and everything. But you know what? A lot of people out there, they complain that they don't have a Switch and they don't have this game, this other. You know what? If you have a Nintendo, period, any console, there's still so many amazing games you can get for those consoles, and it's only when you stop playing them and you look back a little bit, wait, that game is right there, I can go back and play it anytime I want. You know what I mean? You realize how good you have it, so good, man, good.
Yeah, no, that's great. Obviously I have like the opposite mentality, but that's totally fine, because for me it's one of those, once I've already played a game and experienced it, I'm usually done. I usually have no desire to replay, but that's only because there are so many great new games that come out that I never feel like I'm lacking games to play, and that doesn't include like backlog that you might have of current platforms as well. So for me, still working my way through Kirby. I know, guys, right? How am I not done yet? I understand. Okay, it's been a bit of a rough week. I last week hurt my knee. And you would think video games would be a nice distraction from the pain, but when you're constantly taking your hand off the controls to rub your knee, it makes it really hard to keep playing games.
Don't rub it.
So I haven't gotten to play a ton of games, because I'm just stubborn. I need to stop doing certain physical activities, and when Yulia wants me to install something or the kids need me to lift them for something, I just need to stop doing that stuff, because it's just making it take longer for my knee to recover. As my doc said, stay off the knee as much as you can and rest it for like a week and you'll be fine. Well, it still hasn't been rested, I don't even think a day. So, because of that pain, I haven't gotten to game as much as I would like, but I did play a little bit of Kirby. As I mentioned last time, I had gotten past the snow world. I'm not past the next world. I forget what world it is, but it's finally like
the desert zone?
It's like the rundown town, city, desert thing. I don't know. It's really cool. It's such a stark difference from the rest of the game. That it's pretty shocking, actually. It was kind of a shock to the system to see this after kind of having what felt like typical Kirby light, fun-free stuff, and you just got done with like the carnival and the snow, and now you're in like this rundown city in a desert thing. It was really, really interesting. But I'm not through that one yet. Who knows? Maybe I'll probably get through it before next week. Who knows? Maybe I end up beating the game before next week. We'll see. There is going to be a bit more time this week because we will not be live streaming tomorrow night because the Milwaukee Bucks play. And that might be a time I actually get some game time in because the Bucks play a little bit earlier. So I could theoretically get a stream in with Eric, but we're not going to. We'll probably just play some games and finish cable managing and some other stuff around the studio. And then Thursday is actually NFL draft. So I probably won't be streaming then either because, again, it's draft night and I'm a big NFL fan. So I might get some gaming time in there in between draft picks. So I actually might get quite a bit of gaming time in the next couple of days, which is pretty exciting, assuming that I'm not rubbing my knee nonstop. So we'll see what happens with that.
Need to put some Bengay on it.
Some Bengay on it. Dude, I've been putting everything on that thing, man. I've done lidocaine patches. And
do you want me to kick you in the other one? Do you want me to kick you in the other one so the other one hurts?
Yeah,
and then it takes your mind off the other one?
So now I'm going like this.
Yeah.
Now I'm just rubbing both at the same time.
Or I could kick you in the crotch, and I mean...
oh, God. And I'm just rubbing my dick while you're around? I'm not sure if that's good.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I don't
bad idea.
That's good. Well, let's just be honest. The balls would get in the way, and that's what I have to
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, so, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with that. So I'm planning to have Kirby done this week. And then we'll see what I decide to get back into. I really want to get back into Lego Star Wars that I started. I want to obviously finish off Legends Arceus at some point. So those are kind of the two that I'm kind of zoning in on. That's what I'm going to go back into, start diving deep into again. So we'll see. We'll see which one I do. Who knows? With you here, maybe you'll play Lego Star Wars and I'm playing Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ooh, or get some trades in, and I can actually start playing Arceus again.
Trades?
Yeah.
Because you want all the starters?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So it's gonna be quite interesting for that. One other note I wanted to make, and this is a really, really fun thing that I just discovered. It was actually announced about 9 hours ago, but we now have an idea of when Summer Game Fest is going to happen, folks. Which means we now have an idea of when Prime Gaming Fest is going to happen. Now, we always know June, but we don't have dates, right? We don't have dates, right? Well, something was announced today that was officially confirmed as part of Summer Game Fest, and it has an exact date. The Tribeca Game Festival is going to be part of Summer Game Fest on June 10th.
Go to Twitter. Go to Twitter and see what see who tweeted. Oh my God, what's this guy's name?
Jeff Keighley.
See who tweeted Jeff Keighley. And, because I'm like, hey, Jeff, so if you guys are supporting this event, the Geek Netflix event, that's going to be taking place from the 6th to the 10th, does that mean that the Summer Game Fest is beginning on the 10th and up? So I went ahead and planted that seed. So, Summer Game Fest is happening all because of me.
There you go.
Yeah,
greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They did tweet that event. I don't think, and Summer Game Fest retweeted that event as well, that Netflix one.
Yeah.
But it did not say, unlike the Tribeca one that they said officially this is part of Summer Game Fest. They didn't say that Netflix was. So I think the Netflix one is they're more like, hey, we support the whole game industry, but this technically is part of our event.
And that's why I said that, because I knew that the Geek event was a separate event, and I don't think Summer Game Fest wanted to jump on the toes of that event, so they want to go ahead and...
they care about that event that much, to be honest. Yeah. Because technically, the Tribeca Fest... Because here's what you have to understand. The Tribeca Fest is part of Summer Game Fest. Well, the kickoff event's always before any of it, which means that's at least on Thursday. So it's at least on the 9th, and that's going to be still in the middle of Netflix's thing. So... I think they're just being nice and mentioning that, hey, there's multiple game things going on. And last year, they started Summer Game Fest. The kickoff event was on a Wednesday, I believe. Yeah. So you can kind of infer that, okay, Friday they're going to have the Tribeca thing. Which, by the way, you might be wondering what the hell is going to be at the... One, there's actually going to be game news there, unlike E3. Who knew? Who knew?
Ew.
An actual summer event that's about video games. I can't even imagine. And... one game in particular that even Switch fans should be paying attention to is the final DLC of Cuphead's getting an update, a new trailer, new everything on the 10th. So that's going to be really, really exciting because that's on all platforms, and obviously a lot of Switch gamers love Cuphead. So we're going to get some great news about that game and a bunch of other games as well that look really interesting. Who knows? Maybe some of them will be coming to Switch as well. So it's going to be really exciting. But that's not the kickoff event. That's just one of the things that you can also catch right here live during Prime Gaming Fest because we'll be live reacting to all of it. So there you go. So yeah, we don't have this. It's really the start date we're missing at this point. Because last year they ended on a Saturday. We'll see. I don't foresee Jeff Keighley going like, we're going to launch on a Wednesday and then go through like the following Tuesday like E3 was doing. It was really weird. Let's start on a Friday and then go into next week. Like that was a really weird timing thing that E3 did. Let's take up your whole weekend, and also you need to take off part of this week and part of this week so you can enjoy all of our stuff. Like, this just doesn't make any sense. So I have a feeling there's potential that this Summer Game Fest, because it has more content than ever, potentially could be all week. It could, it could start literally on that Sunday or the Monday, and on Saturday. I don't know, but we know one event for sure that's part of Summer Game Fest happening on June 10th, which is news to my ear. Just big news to my ear since I have a cruise, and I was really worried that the Summer Game Fest was going to like start near my cruise, and I was going to be really upset about that because. I'm starting to book flights and everything, and if I got to redo everything, that's going to really suck. But now we know.
Before or after? Is it before?
It's going to be after. We're leaving on the 19th.
Oh, okay.
So good. I was really scared that it was going to like start that weekend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like it was really risky to book it when I did, but I looked at the prior Summer Game Fest. I'm like, it should be okay, maybe. I don't know. Now I feel pretty confident that we'll be fine. It should be done well before then. So at least know one day for sure. Well, two, because it'll at least be Thursday as well. So the 9th and 10th, we just don't know when the real kickoff is. So I wanted to just update people on that because I know some people are really looking forward to Prime Game Fest. I cannot make announcements for that yet. I can't tell you who guests are besides obviously Mike will be on. I can't tell you a lot of things yet because I need to know the exact start date so I can finally build the show out. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things we're going to do, but until I know when it starts, what time the things are at, like I know what time the Tribeca Festival's at, so I can plan out that day. But can I? Because I need to know what day of Summer Game Fest that is for the plans to work out. So anyways, I just wanted to update people on that because hey, that's the big summer event we're waiting for, and besides the Nintendo Direct obviously at some point, which knowing my luck, that'll happen while I'm gone.
Yeah.
And I'll be on the phone with Eric. You got to go live stream the Direct, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Go, buddy. And it was that should be a good time. Now let's get into our opening topic, and that is the Twitter Direct, aka 3 massive announcements that Nintendo dropped on Twitter. And I think two of them we can kind of package together because it's almost like a date swap. So the first one was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 moved from September 17th to July 29th for release date. We got a new trailer for that. And then Splatoon 3 technically didn't move from anywhere because it was only announced for summer, and now it's releasing September 7th, which is still summer. So technically, we can't say that they swapped dates because we didn't have a date. But it sort of feels like they might have swapped dates. Why? Don't know. Some people have speculated that maybe Splatoon 3 is not done yet. I don't know. It looks pretty done to me, but maybe I'm being crazy saying that. Yeah, it's done.
It's done. They show gameplay. They show like 3 minutes of gameplay. Plus, it has an exact date. I feel like Nintendo would not put an exact date on a game that's not yet done. So yeah,
I'm glad you said game because the third story is about a movie that's been given an exact date that clearly isn't done.
That's done too. No, that's done
a movie.
Too.
That's a movie,
and that I can tell you why that's done too. But when we get there,
well, sure, when we get to that part, that's very interesting. I almost want to jump ahead, but let's not jump ahead. Let's focus on the games first. So first off, what are your guys' thoughts in general about these dates? I mean, that's obviously the big news, and then we could talk our impressions on the footage we saw and everything. What do you guys think? Mike, you want to go first?
Yeah. Yeah, so when it comes to Splatoon 3, I'm super excited. I have to admit, I wasn't such a great Splatoon fan. I'm not like a Splatoon geek, but watching the gameplay on this Splatoon, got me hyped for the game. Actually, I want to buy Splatoon 3. I want to play Splatoon 3. Hopefully have a tournament or something, but I actually want to get into this game. But yeah,
we got to have Nintendo Academy Squad versus Nintendo Prime Squad, right?
Yeah, we got it. We have
launch night. It's got to happen.
We have to do it. Yeah, actually, yeah. Right, put it down on the calendar. It's happening.
Yeah.
The other game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I wanted to get into that game just because I'm a fan of Xeno Saga. I play Xeno Saga, the 1, 2, whatever, and it's the same Monolith Soft company, right? The Xeno Saga games. So I've been wanting to get into Xenoblade games, but haven't. And again, this trailer, how beautiful it looks, how great it looks. That teaser poster they released right before they released the trailer and yeah, that got me.
They deleted it off the website.
Yeah, wow, that looks crazy. That looks. Is it an open world game? Is it an open world game?
Xenoblade's open world. Yeah.
Yeah, so even better. Even better. I've been wanting to get into it, and I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and try to beat the first 2 before I get to the part 3. Yeah, I did that with Horizons West. I did it. I'm like, okay, I got 2 months to play the first game. I did it. I beat the first game before I got to Horizon Forbidden West on release date. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and get these games, knocked out.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Eric, you got some thoughts?
Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of either game, so to me it doesn't really matter when they're coming out. I've played Splatoon.
Well, for you, it's Sparks of Hope. That's right. That's the biggest
date you're
one. Waiting for.
Yes,
Sparks of Hope.
For sure. But Xenoblade and Splatoon, I enjoy Splatoon. I'm just not, super into it. I blindly won on last year E3. But yeah, it's right. Yeah. It's just it's a game I could see myself possibly getting into, but it's not something that it's drawing me to have to play it.
It's not a game changer.
You're gonna have to play it. You're gonna have to play it because if you're gonna be part of Team Prime.
No, I know.
You're gonna have to.
Be part of Team Prime. You might not be.
Wait, hey man,
you better be prepared. I got some pretty damn good Splatoon players. In my community.
Yeah, right.
They're insane. But then again, maybe you do. You know what's gonna happen? My good Splatoon players are gonna go join your team.
That'll be fun.
I'm really looking forward to both games. Now it's interesting because with Xenoblade, I beat the first one, but I never beat the second. And there's always been part of me that's been like, go back and beat. I can't remember what it was that made me stop. Maybe I think at the time I was really annoyed with the frame rate for like one of the few times the frame rate drops really bothered me in that game. It really just took me out. And it's weird because it didn't bother me enough in Zelda to make me stop in Breath of the Wild. But maybe that's because I didn't really feel frame rate problems that bad in that game outside of Kokiri Forest. So I can tell you right now, I've spent the least amount of time in Breath of the Wild in Kokiri Forest. Like, I basically avoided it like the plague. Got my Master Sword, got the hell out. I don't think I ever really returned. And that's unfortunate because it's a very beautiful place, but it's so choppy that I just never went back. And in Xenoblade, it really threw me for a loop in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So I can say right now, I didn't get the definitive edition, so I didn't play the bonus content that was added. That's supposed to help transition into Xenoblade 3 potentially. So there's some content I'm missing already. So I'm going to be very curious how Xenoblade 3 feels because I highly doubt I'm going to beat 2 before I play it. So I'm very curious how it's going to feel to somebody who doesn't have the full background of both games going in, and if it's still going to be okay. Which, by the way, most games are fine if you haven't played the prior ones and you jump right in. And what happens is you just miss out on certain references. But it's going to be quite interesting to me playing that game and seeing how I feel about it. And what makes me, because I wasn't really sold on the game till the new trailer. What sold me on the game in the new trailer is one, damn, does that look crisp? I mean, this is one of those situations where if they would have showed me this footage a year ago, I would have said, dude, that's on Switch Pro. Like, that is so much crisper than Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But now they're using FSR. So I'm of mind that FSR is clearly at play in this game, and that's one reason why it's looking so damn good. Now the question is just going to be frame rates, which, of course, they look great in the trailer. They're not going to show you bad frame rates in a trailer, usually, unless you're the Pokemon company showing off Legends Arceus for some reason. Last year, they wanted to show off really shitty frame rates. I don't understand how they couldn't put their best foot forward, but you know what? Legends Arceus went on to sell incredible, so it all worked out in the end. And it's my favorite Pokemon game to date, so it clearly worked out for me too. Despite the fact I haven't beat it yet. I know. Blasphemy. Trust me, I'm really leaning towards playing Legends Arceus before Lego Star Wars, even though Lego Star Wars is pretty nice. I wish Lego Star Wars was using FSR, to be honest. That game could have used it.
Right.
It's fine. It looks good. But just seeing how crisp Xenoblade is, seeing how crisp Nintendo Switch Sports is, which comes out this week, like, FSR should just be used on every Switch game moving forward, in my humble opinion. Yeah. I think it makes that big of a difference. And new FSR is coming out, which probably still could be used on this hardware. So, I'm because it looks so crisp and the frame rate looks solid at the moment, probably going to give it a try. Because I know I would like a more powerful Switch, but I'm of mind that, you know what, as long as the games are getting better and this looks better, I'm cool with it. Just like Breath of the Wild 2 looks better, probably using FSR, cool. Nintendo is tricking us into thinking Switch is getting better over the years, when really they're just getting better at developing games, and that's good. That's good. Good on you, Nintendo, for that. So I'm looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Splatoon 3. So longtime followers of my channel will know I love Splatoon. I have kicked the living hell out of the first game and the second game and the Octo expansion and everything in between, all the DLC. I'm not the greatest multiplayer gamer. It's weird because in the first game, I liked the motion controls, and then they made tweaks to the motion controls in the second game, and I ended up not liking it. And unfortunately, the motion controls are more accurate than twin sticks. So you have a disadvantage in multiplayer when you're using twin sticks. But that's what I went with, and I'm just not as good at Splatoon 2 as I was Splatoon 1, but that's okay. Splatoon 3, we'll see what tweaks, if any, they've made, and if I just force myself to get used to the motion controls, because that's the best way to play. I know it's fundamentally the best way to play. It's not even about user choice. It just is the best way to play. Or I'll just suffer and just accept that I'm never going to be as good as everyone else that I play with, and that's okay. Because one thing that's great about Splatoon is even when you're not good at it, it's still fun. And that's what gets me about that game. A lot of these multiplayer-based games, if you're not good, it's not fun. It's just the way it is. You go into Call of Duty Warzone, and you're not good. It sucks that you're always dead within the first 5 minutes and in the gulag and then dying again, and then you wasted all that time loading into a match for 5 minutes of play. It sucks. It just sucks. Like, same's true in a lot of these, even like Halo. I love Halo Infinite's multiplayer, even though, yeah, obviously you need some more content, some more maps and stuff, but it's weird because, like, even that, Splatoon I find more fun than that if you're not good at the game. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the mechanics and the variance in the mechanics and the weapons. Maybe it's just the art style. Maybe the fact it's just paint. And there's like different gameplay modes where you just paint the ground or you capture zones, and it's not really necessarily about killing the opponent, but killing the opponent will help you. So I don't know. I just find it to be a much more fun game, even if you're not good at it. So I'm going to have a good time with Splatoon 3 either way. And I think it looks incredible. I think it's weird when people, when I put the news up about it, and there were people in the comments saying, so is that footage in there? Is that from Splatoon 3 or Splatoon 2? I'm sorry. You must be trolling. I'm sorry. Did you play Splatoon 2? Because this game looks so much better than Splatoon 3. They're clearly probably using FSR again. And it looks so crisp, so smooth. And I'm sorry, do you remember controlling a robot as one of your super abilities in Splatoon 2? No, that didn't happen. Sorry. And there's did you remember a bow and arrow in any of them? No, it didn't happen.
Or spiderwebbing around.
Spiderwebbing around, right?
Like Spider-Man.
They dude, did you guys see that? They added. Okay, if you guys were like, they added a grapple feature basically that zips you around. That is insane. And there's other games that have had that feature, and it's been insane every time it's been added to a game.
Yeah.
And now they just said, hey, look, it's not a new original idea, but damn, does it just feel right in Splatoon. I can't wait. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so hyped for both of these games, Splatoon 3 especially. That, I mean, no matter what comes out this holiday, since it won't be Breath of the Wild 2, Splatoon 3 is probably going to get more game time than any of it. So I'm so excited. And I'm just glad we have dates. Now we know. We know when to look forward to stuff. August is still wide open. So it's going to be interesting to see what, if anything's announced from there. There's speculation and rumors out there about potentially a game that nobody wants. Don't know what it could be. I swear if it's a Devil's Third port, I'm going to cry.
I know what game it is.
What is it like?
It's Balan Wonderworld 2.
Okay, now I'm just going to walk off the set. That shouldn't even be uttered from your mouth. And that wouldn't be an exclusive.
And the trick is that it's going to be worse than the first one.
Paid for by Nintendo to be worse.
Right.
Oh my God.
What if that's the thing of the game, right? What if that's what they were going for, right? Let's just make the worst possible game and make bad games its own thing.
Yeah, make it like its own cult following. I'm looking for bad games to play. That's how we do it. Well, in that case, Devil's Third should be the game ported over then from Wii U. Then that could be our I guess. That could be a game that I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, nobody wants to see Devil's Third again. And it was Wii U exclusive, so Nintendo did pay for it. Maybe they're trying to get their money back somehow. By thinking if we throw it on Switch, we might sell just enough copies to break even for our original investment. He was,
oh God.
Because I keep thinking even if it's a sequel to 1-2 Switch, like there are people that like 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
If it's
3-4 Switch.
If it's a sequel to ARMS, it's funny. I saw people mention nobody wants a sequel to ARMS. Like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? ARMS is one of the best-selling fighting games of the generation.
Yeah.
Just because it's not Smash Bros. No fighting game is Smash Bros. Level.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11, people love it. It ain't Smash Bros. Level.
No.
Actually, it's not that far ahead of ARMS. So, yeah, people would probably like another ARMS game. They probably just want more content at launch. That was one of the critiques of the first one. Not quite enough content. Was a new concept. So usually you get more the second time around. But we'll see. We'll see if there is a second time around. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. But that's when we get to the third bit of news that dropped on Twitter and other social media platforms, and that is Miyamoto here. It's become a meme, guys. Literally, it's become a meme. Did you hear Miyamoto here? Apparently, he's shutting down Nintendo Prime. That's like it's become such a meme because it was such a weird way to introduce a delay to the Mario movie. Yeah. Because Miyamoto's name being attached to it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It doesn't. Movie delays happen all the time. You don't need like a big person to announce it, but for some reason they decided that we're going to throw Miyamoto's name in there. And I understand the idea is that Miyamoto himself wrote the tweet, and if that's how he thinks he used Twitter, well, all right then. He's Miyamoto. He can just do what he wants.
Miyamoto here.
Great.
Miyamoto here, and blah blah blah. I talked to Chris Chan, and we're gonna Chris San. Yeah. And when he said that, I'm like, wait a second, was that Chris Pratt? Oh wait, no.
Yeah. That is
the
Chris
very
Pratt.
first time I saw that, I'm like, why are you conferring with Chris Pratt on when to release the movie? But that's not who it is. I guess it's one of the directors or whatever.
I could tell you why though.
Anyway, the news, by the way, for those who don't know, is that it's delayed to April of 2023 instead of December. I can't remember what the original release date was, like a 13th or something. Either way, it's now April 7th here in the U.S., 28th, I think, in Europe or something. I can't remember. But, yeah, that was basically the big news there. Still no trailers, no footage, no nothing. Now, Mike, what do you want to add?
So, the movie is done. When it comes to movie releasing, timing is everything. The time of year is everything. Normally, when you release a movie in December, it's like this little family movie that is released in December, then forgotten in January. They don't want this to happen with Super Mario movies. They want Super Mario movie to be a blockbuster movie. And what is releasing around that time? I went ahead and did a little research to tell you what's releasing in 2023. Well, the year starts out with. Let's see here. Let me go back over here. We got January, Raven the Hunter. Then February we got the Marvels. which is another Marvel movie. We got Dungeons and Dragons in March. We got Aquaman again in March again. John Wick Chapter 4 in May. Okay, it's when is Mario releasing? April, right?
Yeah.
April. So in April, the Super Mario movie. Right after that, Guardians of the Galaxy, which Chris Pratt is also a part of. So they're taking advantage of that Marvel anticipation for Guardians of the Galaxy, in which Chris Pratt is also part of, and releasing around that time so that to set the expectation that this movie is it's a family movie, but it's a major blockbuster movie, just like these other movies that are releasing right before it or right after it. Guardians of the Galaxy is releasing in May.
Doesn't that make you feel like it's more likely to be forgotten because there's other blockbusters coming out around it?
But in a way, you can say yes, but if you look at the kind of movies they're releasing, John Wick.
People think Chris Pratt next spring, they're going to think Guardians of the Galaxy. They're not even going to think about Mario. I don't think.
They might. Because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a very.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's a very
I wouldn't be surprised that's another $1 billion box office.
Oh yeah, and it's the last one too. It's a final one from this group.
The current trilogy, and it won't end up in an Avengers or something. But anyways.
Yeah, so we have John Wick Chapter 4, which is not a kids movie, coming out March.
John Wick is I would not classify that as a children's movie. No.
Yeah. It's March 24th. Then we have April. That's when the Super Mario movie is coming out. April. Then May, Guardians of the Galaxy. But it has to do with timing, because after that they don't want to go against Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is coming out in June. You know what I mean? December, I just didn't really. To me personally, I didn't like the release date. I felt like it was going to be like an Alvin and the Chipmunks kind of release date. They always release in December, and then in January it's already forgotten. You know, so I like that they moved it towards a point where it felt like
the highest grossing animated film of all time, like Frozen 2, was released right around that time.
But then again, you're talking about Frozen.
I'm just saying though that like a great animated movie is not going to be relevant past December.
Yeah.
Because then you're also out in time for all the Christmas rush to the movie theaters when all the family are all gathering. Like that's a big thing that's why a lot of those movies will release in December, because you get that family rush and you actually get a lot of sales off of that. Because you got to remember, how long do movies usually stay in movie theaters for? A month? Month and a half? And that's assuming it doesn't hit a streaming service within a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
And then, but Super Mario movie, what streaming service could that go to?
I'm trying to think of. It'll be
Nintendo?
interesting. It could be Netflix, because I think all the Minion movies and stuff go to Netflix.
Yeah.
So it could be Netflix. And because Castlevania is also over there, Pokemon's on Netflix as well. So I can see it maybe being a Netflix.
Nintendo Plus.
I think it's actually going to Peacock.
Is it going to go to Peacock?
Oh, really?
That's go there. Yeah, there's a lot of services.
Starting with NBCU's 2022 theatrical slate, the majority of Universal Pictures, Focus Features, Illumination's, DreamWorks animation films will stream exclusively on Peacock.
Okay, so everything's going to move over to Peacock then. So it could be there. Now, again, there's always exceptions to some exclusivity, because Nintendo owns the rights to the characters and everything in it, so they could decide where it's going to go if they wanted to be somewhere else. But
that's just streaming, though.
That's just streaming.
Once it's done streaming, it could go to Netflix. It could go to where the rest of the animation stuff is at. So
I don't know. It all depends on where that's going to go, because we see this trend with movies all the time, guys. Like movies are in movie theaters these days since the pandemic. They'll be in movie theaters for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they're on a streaming service, and you can rent it for $20 at home
if they don't release simultaneously with the streaming service.
Yeah, they've actually slowly got away from that.
Yeah,
they're getting back to enough people are going to theaters that's worth doing a theater release, so they get their millions from that. Anyways, that's not counting streaming release only movies. So that's an interesting theory. I mean, that's what it is, the theory. Unless you literally know it's done for sure. You're just
and it basically all depends on what type of marketing strategy they want to go for. Maybe the one they want. You know, because he said, I spoke to Chris he spoke to Chris Pratt. You know, they had some type of meeting on the type of marketing they need to really push this movie. And maybe the time they have now with all these releases for Nintendo, it's not the right time. They don't have the time to go ahead and market this movie like the way they want to, you know, without overshadowing everything they already have ongoing.
I think it's interesting. Like Don Lewis mentioned, I'm not sure that tweet from Miyamoto was genuine, which is funny. I mean, the news is the news. I don't know that anyone really believes that Miyamoto made the tweet.
No, he did it. He did it.
No, one, he doesn't speak English that well, so it would be a translation. And two, this is just marketing. It's just marketing. They think Miyamoto's name is worth a lot, that they're going to keep attaching it to. This is Nintendo thinking they need to attach Miyamoto to Mario at all costs here to try to make a movie.
I think it's more of a.
And the moment they unveil the trailer, don't be surprised to see Chris Pratt everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
him and Miyamoto are going to be doing interviews together all over the globe trying to market this movie.
I also think part of it is if they attach Miyamoto's name to the
it's going to be right in the beginning, Mario movie presented by Miyamoto.
Yeah, no, if they attach Miyamoto's name to the delay, it's going to quote unquote soften the blow, because how can you get mad at Miyamoto?
But you're also not going to get mad at the delay. I'm going to be honest, I've never seen anyone really get mad at movie delays. It just
No,
a movie not as much as game delays. Seen it,
right? There is that too. So
all we know is the voice cast. Okay, it was a really weird. We're making a Mario movie, and here's the voice cast, but we're not going to show you anything. Well, then I don't even need to know the cast right now. Like, this is kind of weird. But again, they wanted to use the cast to promote it because they were going to announce a release date. In my opinion, way too soon.
Yeah.
It was over like a year from when the release date was happening. And here's the release date. I'm like, who does that? The film ain't done yet, and you're already saying it's going to be coming out. That, like, let's slow the. Like, my opinion is there's two opinions I got of this. One, the movie just isn't done yet, needs more polish. Maybe they play tested it with an audience, didn't go well. They got to rethink some stuff. That's always entirely possible, because for those who don't know, all these movies get play tested before they ever appear publicly. So they could have did a test audience, and it might not have gone well. That is something that we always have to consider. And they're like, we got to rethink some stuff. We got to change some things based off the feedback.
Maybe
and try to make the movie better.
Maybe there was a joke in there that didn't, because of current events of something that they wanted to pull.
I feel like they would have been, maybe. I have no idea. The thing is, we're just guessing, but all movies get play tested and get delayed, and changes get made all the time, because especially animated movies. It happens a lot with animated movies, because usually with non-animated movies, they're not going to pay the millions to get the actors to come back in and reshoot stuff, because setting up the sets takes a lot of money and everything. So usually it's like, hey, we have the footage we have, we cut what we cut, and we just make do with what we got. But with animated movies, that's a bit different, because they can have it's like the animation team doesn't work once the movie's done; they're just working on the next project. So they could just say, hey, let's spend some more time and make some new scenes, and if we need to bring in Chris Pratt for half a day to say a few lines or something, it's not a big deal.
He has his own studio at home.
He has a studio at home. It's all about what they want him to do, and what he originally recorded with, like the exact same equipment. They want the exact same equipment again, and so there doesn't have that sound difference. And they got professional sound artists to make it all sound good anyway. So, anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's a possibility, and I'm not going to deny that it's possible. Like game delays, it's just not done. So it just needs more work, more time in the oven. Or it's also possible they're just too ambitious with the release date in the first place, and they're not even done with the first cut. So if they're not done with the first cut right now, probably not going to be final in time for December. That's possible. The other possibility to me is that it's a bit of what Mike said, where there is a potential of timing. And I don't know that it's timing to get the most views, because I don't think they care about trying to build off of Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to overshadow everything, and no one's going to care about Mario once it comes out.
Holiday is like Christmas time is a huge release for
movie watching
movies.
time. It's a great time to have a massive.
So that's why I'm kind of surprised they moved it away from that.
But that doesn't mean that Nintendo doesn't want to time the release with something on Switch.
Mario
and that's where I start to wonder, hey, what if there's a Mario game dropping? I don't know about April, because we just got Breath of the Wild in March, probably. But what if it's like May or June, and they want to build off double promotion game movie within a 3-month period? And I could see that being a thing. I'm not saying that we are going to get a Mario game this year, besides Sparks of Hope, or next year. I have no idea. But I'm saying that Nintendo, with the mobile games, they tend to use mobile game main release. What makes you think they wouldn't try to use a Mario movie to help promote a game, or have a game help promote Mario? Like, what if there's a Mario game dropping in January?
The end credits scene is a Mario game trailer.
Well, and the thing is, like, we have Bowser's Fury, came out like February or March. Like, who's to say they're not going to drop something Mario early in the year?
All right, so I just looked up. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released on April 8th, 2022.
Great movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, that could have something to do with it as well. Sometimes when they release animated movies in the Christmas time, people tend to typecast the movie as like a Christmas movie or a Christmas time movie. You know what I mean? So maybe they want to get away from that a little bit, or they want to just kind of stick to that time zone of releasing day. Like Sonic the Hedgehog did great. The release time for that, they're trying to learn from the same exact type of movie genre, and then. According to that,
I always say, like, obviously Nintendo's trying to be very careful with the movie. I don't know that timing that when Sonic 2 came out, it would have mattered. It already built up hype from the first one. Now it's an ongoing movie franchise, so people were going to show up to the second one no matter when it came out. I think, and the thing is, there is a bonus to being associated with Christmas. Let's say that it suddenly became a holiday movie. You know what happens? It's a tradition every year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it does.
It becomes a tradition every year around Christmas that we're going to watch this
together. Mario movie. Yeah.
Or one of the first movies I took my kids to. We all went to the Mario movie together at Christmas. That's a really great tradition Nintendo would love to be associated with. That's such a great family forward image.
Well, they're just waiting until next year for Merry Christmas Mario.
There's also could be a thing where did we have rumors that they were already working on the next animated something movie for Nintendo, potentially Donkey Kong or something, and maybe they plan to launch that next year. And what they want to do is start being like Marvel, where you're getting multiple movies out a year, so you don't forget about Nintendo IP. So there could be like, we're going to push this because we're going to release this here. We're going to hit you in the fall with Donkey Kong, and we're just going to kind of try to make it so we can at least have a Mario in the forefront of your mind, and then maybe we have the next movie come out the following year, and every now and then, every other year, maybe you have two movies. Some year you have one. And this assumes that Nintendo obviously wants to go that route, to have that many movies coming out that quickly. But it would be interesting if that is a plan in the back of their mind of, hey, if this does blow up, like Sonic did, like Sonic's going to have spin-off movies. Like, we need to start considering how often we want to get these films out. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what's going to happen. And again, we're all speculating at this point. Everyone who's listening, your speculation is just as valid as ours. We don't know. We're guessing. Got thoughts, Eric?
I still like the idea of the ending credits all of a sudden turns into a Mario Odyssey 2 trailer. You see Chris Pratt's Mario
by the way,
running.
I don't think Mario Odyssey 2 is ever happening, but
some sort of Mario game. You see Chris Pratt's Mario, like,
that's how they announced the Mario game, is in the end credits.
Running, and then all of a sudden jumps into something, and then all of a sudden it spits into the.
You know what would be insane?
Splits into the.
If they announce the next Mario game trailer? In the end credits, but they don't upload it online until the day after the movie comes out. So the movie comes out like on a Friday. They don't upload the trailer till Saturday.
Yeah,
that would be insane. I don't know that they would do that. There's no way in hell that wouldn't leak, but that would be insane.
Right.
I have another one. What if in the movie theaters while we're watching the Mario movie, they release the trailer or they reveal the next console?
Ooh.
I mean, it's not going to happen, but
could be.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, Mario walks out playing the Switch 2.
Nintendo, make us part of your marketing team. We have the ideas.
Right.
Mario comes walking on screen playing the Switch 2. Hey, Mario, what's that? I don't know, just the Switch 2 comes out tomorrow.
I would run out. Look, I would run out. Actually, I would take my phone, run out of the theater.
It's already stores today. We just didn't announce it.
Yeah, right.
My God, that would be a
you see me in the bathroom making a video like, hey guys, Nintendo just released.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm live streaming. I literally saw this news as I'm taking a pee. I couldn't.
Right.
Hold on, let me shake. All right, I got to go to the store together. Let's go. Dude, you didn't wash your hands. I can't help it. I'm holding the phone. I got sanitizer in the car. Don't worry about it.
Oh boy.
Oh man, like. And here's the thing. I am excited for the movie.
I'm super excited for the movie.
I love the cast. I know some people made a lot of memes.
I do too.
Cast.
I do too.
I think this cast is obviously star-studded, which can be scary because a lot of this many stars in one movie cast doesn't always go well. But it's animated, and I don't know. I do have this thing where I'm not so sure that Miyamoto can make a great movie, but I also have this thing where I don't think Miyamoto is really having as much say as people think he does, and he's mostly just making sure the IP isn't being bastardized by Illumination. I think Illumination and the producers and directors behind it probably are controlling most of it, and Miyamoto just has to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Like he does for games pretty much at Nintendo. I don't know that Miyamoto himself is like, I wrote the script and we got to have him say, "It's a me, Mario," like 15 seconds in, or it's not a Mario movie. Like, But
it does list.
Will, we should take bets. Will "It's a me, Mario" be uttered in this movie?
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
But can you have such an iconic phrase that's only ever been said officially by one person be uttered by somebody else?
Well, this is the thing.
Or do you make your own phrase?
Yeah.
Specific to the movie franchises.
Well, that's why Charles Martinet is going to be it's a cameo in it. He's probably going to do something along the line.
Just say, "It's a me, Mario."
It's a me, Mario.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. $1 million.
That's it.
$1 million. Go home.
I think his whole cameo is there's some sort of like super side character
No. What it's going to be? It's going to be when the Illumination comes up, and instead of the minions saying Illumination, it's going to be "It's a me, Mario."
I'm telling you. I mean, it could be. Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. Do you guys have any other thoughts on the Mario stuff?
I just want to be here.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's gonna be bigger than Sonic.
That's tough.
That is tough, but I
think Mario's a bigger IP.
I can see it.
But Sonic had live action. People love live action. And Jim Carrey. Being classic Jim Carrey.
Oh,
Jim Carrey was a huge selling point for those movies.
Yeah. Him being himself.
But I think
Chris Pratt and all these others are huge, they're not on screen. You don't see them.
True.
Yeah, but what I mean is that Mario. I'm just saying purely because of Mario. Purely because of Mario. Yeah, I think Mario
works so well in the first Mario movie. You know.
Yeah, Mario is a more recognizable character than Mickey Mouse. Okay, I saw that in some kind of poll somewhere.
And Pikachu's probably more recognizable than Mario.
Well, well, I can believe that.
Probably.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a big movie. This is me, the child in me talking. This is gonna be a success. Gonna have a good movie. They're gonna do a great job.
The biggest thing ever. I'm so hyped. I'm getting the next Nintendo Power magazine so I can read the interviews and all the details. Oh my god!
I'm telling you,
I'm heading to Blockbuster to rent the next game. I'm getting hyped. The game supposedly has a poster for the movie in it. Oh, god,
dude, god. I miss Blockbuster. Okay, don't mess with Blockbuster. I miss going out with my family, getting a movie, popcorn, waiting in line, coming back over there, then just going back, putting that Blockbuster movie back in that little mailbox thing.
Yeah, right. Redbox doesn't do it for you?
Nah, it's not the same.
You still have to insert it in the slit.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
You don't talk to other people. You don't get to see the physical things. You're on a screen, just like you're on
not a Blockbuster. Yeah. It's not a Blockbuster. You can order it off the app and
just like have it ready for. I don't know. It's more. I think Redbox is more convenient, but it's just not as fun. It was fun back when we had the video rental and game rental stores.
Yeah, yeah, man. Going inside, looking at all the movies just lined up.
Still exist. There is a single Blockbuster still open somewhere.
I think it's
there's other video rental stores that apparently are out there. And no, I'm not just talking about the adult film industry. Yes, those stores still exist. Those stores never went anywhere. I don't know if they're surviving off the films anymore. It might be other things they're selling, but yes, there are still rental stores out there. There's just not very many.
Yeah. I think it's in Oregon. Oregon.
It is. Oregon. Bend, Oregon. Yep.
And it probably stays open just off nostalgia alone. Just all the visitors got.
It does. It gets a lot of visitors. The family's doing very well.
Yeah, very well. Sell a ton of Blockbuster merchandise and everything. Because
not only that, but
it's a classic.
Yeah, we got to. I heard they have like a little museum inside where they have actors who actually donated some of their clothing they use for certain movies, big movies.
That's cool.
In there, yeah. So they have like a little museum.
A part of history. So it'd be kind of cool if it's like, hey, we still rent stuff, but also it's kind of a history museum at the same time. So it's kind of a double.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
If I'm ever out there, I'll probably stop there. Like everyone does. Who happens to be in that area because we all remember Blockbuster from the 90s and early 2000s. So, Mario movie, guys. Pretty excited. We have a new date, and hopefully this is the last new date. It doesn't get delayed again. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who
right.
knows? Nintendo could change their mind and move it again. So we'll see. And I wonder if it's going to be announced again with Miyamoto here. I talked to Chris Chan. Okay, that's cool, buddy.
Yeah.
You delay the movie. Can we get, like, at this point, I don't really even care. Delay it another 5 years. Can I just see a trailer? Everybody wants to know, what does this even look like? What does it sound like? What the hell is this supposedly amazing Chris Pratt Mario voice? Everyone just wants to see a trailer.
This could be dropped. This trailer could literally be dropped on Christmas Day.
I would be interested.
Drop the trailer on the original release date.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? That's a consolation prize, right?
I mean, yeah.
Damn. That would be cool. Anyways, we'll see. We have no idea when the trailers are going to drop it. It's all in their marketing plan.
Right.
They decide they want to hype it up.
Yeah.
So the next topic's a bit of a. It's just kind of a dumb topic. I don't know that I want to spend a ton of time on it, to be completely honest. But YouTube has had problems for a while with various things. We're not even going back to when YouTube took $4,000 from my channel overnight because apparently all my viewers were bots. That was fun. That was a whole thing that happened back when Mario All-Stars came out. So my videos get caught up in the algorithm. I have all this organic growth, all this organic viewership, thousands of people watching my live streams, and all of it was apparently fake, and I paid bots apparently because my channel got bigger than it had ever been, which was really weird. And it's funny because if they were all bots, if I'm botting, and this is what I told YouTube, botting is strictly against your terms of service, and my channel should be terminated. So if you legitimately think I'm botting, then it should just be my money gone. My channel shouldn't exist. So clearly you're not sure, and it's just an excuse. And every time I talked to him, there was like a different excuse given every single time. So it was one of those things that I don't think YouTube knows what happened.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Oh, you can live without that $4,000, right? You're fine." Sure. And that's when I stopped doing giveaways based on the revenue I'm making during the month, because I gave away $1,000 worth of stuff that month because we were making a lot of money. Didn't matter because I never got. Let's just say those giveaways were completely sunk cost. But that's not that's obviously the issue we had. Obviously, we got hacked last October. That's not necessarily YouTube's problem, although you could argue they should have better protections in place, and it shouldn't have took me so long to get a hold of people to deal with it. That stream should have never been live for an entire day.
Right.
How the hell that didn't get nuked by YouTube when it legitimately was bots, I have no idea. Legitimate bots, we don't do anything.
No.
Not legitimate bots, it's bots. Anyways, so, but YouTube has had an issue with their copyright system for a long time. Because it's all automated. And I understand why YouTube automates the copyright system, because they're too big. It's almost impossible to hire enough employees, even though, yes, they're part of Google and they have an infinite money pool that they could dip into. Bottom line is, like, half of America would basically be sitting there on moderator duty to do this all manually. So I understand why it runs through an AI system. But one of the fundamental flaws of the automatic copyright strike system is anybody can do it, and the videos instantly get taken down until they're disputed. And what sucks about that system is, one, let's say, Mike, you put up that little joke video you made with me, with Prime Nate, and or Mike Prime or whatever, and I decide, you know what? Fuck that guy. I don't like that video. I can literally, within 3 clicks, get that video taken out. Now,
and without having to show any proof either.
Yeah, no proof. And you can dispute it, of course, and it'll temporarily go back up, but viewership will be halved because it's an under dispute. And then, obviously, it would likely go in your favor because of fair use and everything, and you'd be fine. But the point is that it would be out until you dispute it, and then viewership would be affected until the dispute's over.
Yeah. And
when
then there's
really,
something. Yeah.
My opinion, and this is just, and I've told YouTube this behind the scenes, you should let the automated system exist. People should be able to make their claims and have it automated, but you do not take out the video until it's been like a week. Give it a week to see if the original content creator is going to dispute the claim. If they don't dispute it after a week, fine. The content creator had ample time to respond to the claim, and they chose not to.
The money, I mean, it's easily the money enough made during that time period goes to
YouTube.
I mean,
YouTube clearly has no problem yanking the money.
Right.
So whatever, yank the money. But the point is, leave the video alone until a week later, and then maybe take some action at that point. And I know though that might upset certain big programs, like people who are uploading, whole episodes of shows and stuff. Oh, it gets to stay up for a week before it gets taken out. Yeah, but when it's taken out, you get a copyright strike, and that takes out the channel. So it's a pretty big deal still, even if it takes a week. So I like that idea just because it gives content creators, a chance to not let illegitimate claims ruin their channel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there are a lot of bad actors out there. And we could talk about the major music companies that sometimes claim things that have none of their music in it. They just have like one note. Oh, that one note's in one of my songs. You don't own a note. Mm-hmm. But sure. So there's been issues with a lot of the automated stuff over the years. And Nintendo, by the way, their legal team usually isn't manually claiming. They have an automatic thing that goes around and claims certain aspects. Same with the Pokemon Company. But that's obviously a problem that could be addressed. But there's also bad actors on YouTube that take advantage of this system to try to destroy channels that they don't like what they're saying. And I could say this. I have had channels come after me. I've had a number of channels. I can think of like Radical Rick, Gamesta, probably at least a dozen or so channels that have come after me and tried to call me a fraud and take all my clips out of context, and all that stuff is dumb, and you could argue is defamation. But I have never once thought, you know what, I should go claim that video and take it out. Because at the end of the day, they're free to say what they want. And if they want to misrepresent me, that's fine. My true fans know the truth. It is what it is. And I used to get really up in arms about that stuff, and now it's just whatever. You know what? The bigger I get, the more of that crap I'm going to get. You just deal with it and move on. But that's because I don't care. And they have a right to do what they do. They could take my clips and do whatever they want with it and say whatever they want. It is fair use. There was one video that crossed the line a little bit with my children. That was one that I almost did something about, but then he ended up taking it out himself because I think he realized maybe involving people who aren't even part of the channel, involving people's families, wrong. Well, there is a YouTuber out there that is currently causing a ruckus. And we drew attention to it today. It was drawn to my attention during a live stream because YouTube hasn't done anything yet. And it's these kind of channels that fundamentally screw over everybody else and make all the rules change and get worse for actual legit content creators. And we're talking about Quantum TV, who has been going around making false copyright strike claims against a bunch of channels, starting with some 16-year-old kid out of the UK who critiqued or basically took his Elden Ring review and basically broke it down into sections and added his own commentary in on why he thought he was wrong about all the things he said about Elden Ring. And he said some weird things in his Elden Ring review. Again, I'm not playing any of the clips, or I don't think anyone should watch his content, especially since he's actually ban evading, which is completely against YouTube's terms of service. And so I don't know how that alone hasn't already had his channel taken out, especially after all the attention it's gotten for months. But that's neither here nor there. He was copyright striking this channel, claiming defamation or whatever. His original claim was piracy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if people know, when you upload a video to YouTube, unless that video didn't originate on YouTube. So let's say it's a House, the Fox puts up a clip from House. They own the original clip and it didn't exist on YouTube first. So YouTube doesn't own that clip. But if it's original content you created and was first uploaded to YouTube, according to the terms of service of YouTube, any user on YouTube can take your content, re-upload it, and do whatever they want with it. You don't own the rights anymore, basically. It's still your content. You always retain the base ownership, but you can't control what other people on YouTube do with it. Now, if somebody off of YouTube re-uploads your video, like Daily Motion, that's different. That's not a YouTube user base. And he kept thinking originally that downloading videos off YouTube was illegal, which it was never illegal to download videos off YouTube. And now YouTube even offers you a native tool for all users to download videos. Can't always download the highest quality versions, but you can download them. So that is obviously something to take into consideration when looking at this. And so he was going after this really tiny channel. It had 7,000 subscribers at the time. And because of this controversy, it's now blown up to 100,000 because this user didn't do anything wrong. And obviously the YouTube community has responded and said, hello, this guy's, for one, a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. That's a minor in a lot of countries. Maybe don't go after a minor for just making YouTube content, critiquing your content that was completely fair use. And well within YouTube's terms of service. And he kept claiming piracy. At one point he said, YouTube's customer support told me to do it.
Doubt it.
The only reason they would tell you to do it is because you presented it to them as if it was piracy. I highly doubt that person, that customer support person, if they even said that, knew what you were talking about. Knew that you were specifically talking about a video that was critiquing you. Because if they did, they would have never told you that because it was disputed. And of course that channel won the dispute because it's clearly not within violation of YouTube. Not even close. It shouldn't have even been claimed. But it also brought in the light that that video was taken out by YouTube originally because of the claim, showing that there's a problem with the system anyways. And there's a problem, I guess, with someone like Quantum TV because, hey, he's got 65,000 subscribers. So he's not like dinky. And he's getting 10,000 plus views per video. There's controversy with his content in general about being incorrect information, maybe stealing certain things. And I don't like to get into all of that because that would actually require that I watch his videos and do research on his videos that, frankly, I think with the stuff he's doing outside of his content, I don't need to worry about that. And he's been copyright striking a bunch of people. Review Tech USA he's gone after. He's gone after the Act Man as well, which is a really big channel, like 1.4 million subscribers or something. So... And all these channels have obviously fought back and said, hey, you can't take us out. And it's gotten to the point where it's getting so ridiculous that I think it was like a couple days ago, he actually went after the Act Man's mother.
No, he called her.
Yeah, he called the Act. Yeah,
he went
after her. No, he did. Because supposedly he doxed to get her phone number. And then called her to basically tattle on the Act Man for being some bad guy, for calling him out or whatever. So his mother would do what? I don't know, scold him? The Act Man's a grown adult. I don't really know. And talking about how, families are going to get involved. There's going to be threat. It's a shame. No, he said something like, it's a shame that families are going to get involved. Like, families only get involved because you made families involved. It's weird. The guy is off his rocker. And this is in addition to a bunch of clips people have found of stuff he said in the AV Reddit threads out there, stuff where he's gone into some really crazy claims. Like Eric and I read one today that I just couldn't believe what I was reading. These three apparent YouTubers that also review TVs disagreed with the way that he does content and stated as much. And his criticism of them, of one channel in particular, was apparently that they're Satanists because in one of the videos they use the show Lucifer on Netflix to do a color correction comparison. Mm-hmm. Which Lucifer is a comic book show. And if you know anything, which he clearly doesn't, but if you watch Lucifer, you would know it's more of a redemption arc where Lucifer, in this case, actually becomes good, like the rest of the angels. So it's a really strange analogy, and he claims to be heavily religious and all that, and that's fine. I don't care if you're heavily religious. But I think it was something like where one person, he said something along the line like where one person could be watching a TV review on X's channel and then the next they're effing their dad in the ass or some shit. And I'm like, what are we doing right now? What is this? Why is YouTube letting this guy talk? Because this matters because his original channel that got banned, and he's circumventing the terms of service at the moment, having a second channel, was banned for this exact type of speech because he used to say this stuff publicly in videos. And his channel got deleted and banned by YouTube for hate speech. And then while he's avoiding saying this stuff in videos now, he's still saying it on all other social media. So it just kind of highlights that this is just one use case. There's probably several other YouTubers like this out there. I don't know. This is just this is the shit show of the week. Actually, it's been the shit show of the few months. Oh, what do you got?
Sorry, I pulled up the tweet that we were looking at earlier. Just take,
Yeah.
and you know how we were talking about Satanists? Just take a guess at how many retweets it has.
How many?
666. I'm dead serious. I can't make this shit up.
Oh, that's great.
I cannot make
I'm
this
glad
shit
that
up.
everyone's going to keep it at that, right? That would be
Print
hilarious.
screen. I need to print screen this.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Okay,
come on.
okay. No. Refresh it and see if it gets retweeted. It'd be funny if everyone's just
I need to
agreeing
print
to
screen
keep it
this,
at
though.
666.
I need to actually get
That would be hilarious if everyone's keeping it at 666. It's like nobody agreed to do this, but everyone's agreeing. Oh, everyone's a Satanist. All right, let's keep this at 666 then. That would be hilarious if human beings in general are just in that big of an agreement that they're not going to ruin. That he doesn't have a single fan of his own that would come over here and ruin the 666. You know what happens? If one of his fans comes over and ruins it, somebody who retweeted it will just unretweet to keep it.
right.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now it just needs to get 666 quote tweets. That'd be great.
Yeah, we're at 46 there.
Anyways, and this is just a microcosm of obviously larger issues at YouTube, where the problem with automation is it's not going to catch someone ban evading, and it's not going to catch someone who is doing fake copyright claims, which also speaks to how with copyright claims, there's no punishment for faking a claim.
Yeah,
and that's
that
like a
part's
whole
bullshit,
nother
too.
issue with the like I mentioned how I could take out one of Mike's videos if I want right now, no problem. And if he disputes it and wins, there's no punishment to me. I don't get in trouble. It doesn't affect my viewership. I don't get slapped on the wrist. Like, what if when you make a fake claim, oh, I want to go copyright claim this channel or copyright strike this channel, and it gets defeated? What if it turns around and you get that strike on your channel instead? That's going to stop people right quick doing these fake claims.
Well, the fact that they don't have to provide proof either that they actually own the rights to this, or
It's
anything like
all
that,
automated. What's proof going to do? What's a bot going to do? A bot's not going to tell what your proof is. You got to talk to an extra human for that.
Yep, that's a problem. That's a problem.
So,
We're
like,
always
this just
getting
brings up, and again, this
bot.
isn't just a one YouTuber issue. This is all of YouTube, but this is obviously, in this case, just the shit show of the week or of the last month or so, where people are trying to get YouTube to pay attention to this, and just they're not. And I'm sure eventually a real human at YouTube will see what's going on and get rid of his channel. I think it's obvious. It's been proven he's ban evading. That alone's enough. The fake copyright strikes. If you read YouTube's term of service, it does say there is supposed to be a punishment, by the way, for fake copyright strikes. It is supposed to be channel termination. It's in the terms of service that if you fake copyright strike channels, your channel should be terminated. So there is a punishment, but it's not being enforced. At least it's not being enforced very quickly or in a timely manner. And so, which is funny. Why can't they? Here's what I don't get. If it's in the terms of service that fake copyright claims equal channel termination, why isn't the channel termination automated? They automate everything else.
Yeah, right?
They literally automate everything else. Why can't they automate that? And you know why? It's because what if the fake claim is from Fox or ABC? Do you want that channel terminated? They're not going to want the wrath of that because they're going to lose money.
Don't make fake claims.
Oh, you mean tell these companies not to use their own bots to claim stuff all over you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not gonna happen.
What I believe is that they should implement a different type of strike for that. Because right now we have 3 strikes to get rid of a channel. Then let's just say 5 strikes. For bad reporting. But I do agree there should be some type of repercussion for falsely doing this. Because I mean, some people they do it with I guess they believe themselves to do it with good intentions. But other people just do it with they have their own evil intentions behind it, just like in this situation. But I do feel like they need to take care of this, and they need to implement something specifically for this. You know what I mean? Leave the YouTube strikes alone there, but implement something specific for this. Yeah. Strikes, warning, something that will harm the channel to a point where they're scared to do it, again, knowing that they're doing it wrongly. You know what I mean? It has to be to that point.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the individual case that YouTube's going to get wind of eventually, but...
And I mean, by terminating, the account, though, too, I mean, they could just put it in like a hibernation type of thing where they can always reactivate it if it's...
Well, yeah, for those who don't know, when your account gets terminated at YouTube, it's not fully deleted yet. There's a number of days before it actually is, so if you believe... Because they give you time to dispute wrongful terminations and stuff like that to get your account back. Like, my account was temporarily terminated during the whole hacking situation back in October. But it was just a temporary thing. And it was weird because they gave it back to me, and then they banned it again, and then they brought it back again.
Yeah, right.
Again, that's the humans at YouTube not communicating with each other. But, there's just obviously a lot. We always feel like the biggest thing YouTube can do to improve is to stop acting like a robot. Even though we know the whole platform is ran by an artificial intelligence system. I found it very interesting. There was an interview between Ludwig, the content creator live streamer, with Susan Wojcicki, and he asked her about the YouTube algorithm, and it's kind of funny because it almost felt like she didn't know, and she runs YouTube because the algorithm is ran by an artificial intelligence. So the only thing that actually knows would be the artificial intelligence. Like, what's the best way to get views on YouTube? Only that artificial intelligence actually knows. Humans don't actually know how to get the most views on YouTube. Right. We make guesses and we test things out and we see if it works, and what works today might not work next week. It's interesting. Like, I've had conversations with YouTube. Hey, how do I get the algorithm to find my content again like it was before I got hacked? And I said, I don't know, I'll just keep making content. Well, that doesn't answer my question. The point is, I've been making content for 6 months and it still hasn't found it yet. So what am I doing wrong? You're doing nothing wrong. Okay, so why is the artificial intelligence not coming back and deciding my channel's worth sharing again? I don't know. Because nobody knows. Nobody knows what the artificial intelligence is doing. That's the problem with artificial intelligence. When it gets to a point that it learns and adapts, it gets so intelligent what it's doing, nobody really fully understands how the hell it works. And that's kind of a problem in that of itself. That YouTube itself doesn't even know how their own algorithms work anymore because they've been altered so many times by the artificial intelligence. And that's fine. They're at a point of no return with that. They literally have to rebuild the platform from the ground up to do anything about that. So, and that, by the way, this isn't me saying that YouTube cannot turn off the artificial intelligence. I'm sure there's a kill switch somewhere if they want to kill it, but it's so ingrained. You know what happens if they do? You know, especially if they don't have anything to replace it. YouTube just needs to find a way to better deal with this stuff. And Mike, you had a good idea. We all have good ideas. I think content creators have great ideas, but obviously us saying implement those ideas. And Susan Wojcicki pointed this out in the interview. Like, Ludwig had ideas to deal with some of this stuff. It's really hard to implement things on YouTube because there's so many users. There's so much content being uploaded every damn second. And these aren't like little TikTok short videos. These are massive video files, several gigs. And it's a lot for them to deal with because any minute change you make could end up making half the platform not work. So I understand that it's very hard to implement these changes. Like as an example, we're supposed to be getting the ability on live streams for people to buy subs for other people, like you can on Twitch. So, like, I don't know, Nintendo Academy, you can go and gift, five memberships to random people if you want, or pick specific people like you can on Twitch. Why don't we have that feature universally on YouTube yet? Well, because if they just sent it universally live, it could break a bunch of stuff. So they got to slow roll it out little by little by little so they can catch all the bugs along the way.
They have to take it slow. They have to sweet talk the algorithm because if they don't, if they take it too strong, then might kill us all.
Yeah, I wonder if they're afraid of the AI. We're afraid if we do something, we manually inject something, the AI is going to get pissed at us and going to take over. They're listening to our.
I mean, right now, every word that we speak, the algorithm is listening. He's absorbing, and just learning. Like they know everything about us right now.
Which is why the algorithm ignores me because they anytime they hear my specific intonation, they go fuck that guy.
Dude, you got sweet talk her. Like say, Hey, algorithm.
Hey, YouTube.
What's up?
Yeah.
I love you.
How you doing? Like, how you doing?
Hey, go.
This is turning into the Nintendo Prime Podcast ASMR.
Hey, go.
Hey, algorithm. How you doing?
Look, I got a 12-incher down here for you.
Oh, boy.
They don't care about that,
We're
dude.
sitting over the desk there.
She don't care about that. She
don't care about that. You don't know. Hey, you cannot speak.
Hey, I got some,
AI.
I got some ones and zeros over here for you.
Some ones and zeros over here for you.
Dude,
I got a whole box of ones.
This is we are a clean channel compared to what she's used to on YouTube.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You never know. Maybe she hasn't seen the real deal yet. That's the problem.
Nah.
Anyways.
Oh, boy.
And so we'll just kind of leave it at that. Obviously, YouTube needs to do something about quantum TV. I'm sure they will eventually. There's so much attention to it, yet they still haven't. Because
somebody needs to write it.
Well, they're overwhelmed. They'll probably think we have bigger things to worry about. That's fine. I mean, I get it. He's not like some massive channel, and it's really cool that kid's, that 16-year-old's channel now is blown up.
Yeah,
it's
right.
bigger than my channel.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Somebody needs to just write a bot that spams YouTube's account with please ban him, please ban him, please ban him, please ban him.
By the way, if you
him.
guys want more information on everything with the quantum TV situation specifically, I do suggest you go to Review Tech USA or the Ackman channel. They both have like multiple videos on this where you guys can go check out what's actually going on so you can get more details. I didn't want to go into everything because it's a lot. And this doesn't even get into like his actual issues with his real content and his stuff like that people have had issues with for a while. So the last topic is you guys can now submit some fan topics in the chat if you want. We'll probably pick out a couple to talk about. But while you guys are busy submitting some topics to talk about quick, I want to just briefly talk about the whole Twitter thing. That was maybe arguably in terms of social impact the biggest news of the last week. Is that
we're all getting Teslas?
We're all getting Teslas, right?
Teslas, yeah.
The biggest
fun of
followers
Elon
on
Musk.
Twitter get free Teslas. Elon Musk had a meeting with the board at Twitter, and magically Twitter did a complete 180 and went from we're never going to let you buy the company to hey, we agree, you can have the company. For $44 billion, I think was the final agreement, and it works. I can't remember. It was like $54 per share or whatever it worked out to the set agreed upon price. So, by the way, you can still buy and trade Twitter stock. It's going to take a long time for this to happen because there's just a lot of legal tape work. There's actually Virtual Legality has a really long video on this. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to see how long it's going to take for this to actually change over. This is not an overnight change. It's not like Elon owns Twitter today. That's not how it works. It's going to take a long time. There will not going to be any actual things stopping him from buying the company. And this isn't the first time a public company has been bought out for billions and gone private. It's happened before. It's just been a while since we've had one this big. But it is going to go through. It is going to happen. And I'm sure by this time next year, Elon Musk will fully own Twitter, and it will be a private company. And along with this, he's promised a number of things. I always say the promises sound nice. Some of the promises sound scary to some people. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to reserve my full judgment on what Twitter is going to be like when Elon Musk owns it, when he actually owns it, and we see what happens. Yeah. Because it's not like I think Twitter and all these other social media accounts are always doing the greatest things as it is already. So
yeah.
So what are your guys' thoughts on this in general? And I don't care, Mike or Eric, if you like Elon Musk or don't like Elon Musk. None of that really matters right now. It's the whole idea that Twitter's going private. What do you guys think about this? Eric?
I don't know.
Keep in mind, Twitter's not as big as YouTube. It's not as big as TikTok. It's actually kind of slowly becoming one of the smaller social medias already anyways. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant, but again, it's going to be a wait-and-see approach because not that I do a whole lot on Twitter anyways.
Yeah, I know. Well, the way you use Twitter, I don't think it's ever going to change. Your use case for it is what, sports news?
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're still going to get your sports news.
Nintendo news.
Unless he starts making it where everyone has to pay money to be on Twitter, nothing really changes there.
Well, I'm out then. I mean, I can find
it's funny
other
too,
ways to do
because by the way, I don't think he'll ever do that because it'll kill the platform. But it is funny, like people talk about, we'll charge you money. You guys know that as an example, you guys want an edit button, right? It exists. You just have to pay for it. Twitter's been charging for it for like a year.
What?
Yeah. You ever what is it called?
No, boy.
It's under profile because they don't advertise it that much.
Which is weird because you figured they'd want to make money.
No, where's my settings?
What kind of?
Twitter Blue is what it's called. It's called Twitter Blue. You pay for Twitter Blue.
Wow.
Edit button right now. So a feature everyone's wanted on Twitter since day one technically exists, but you pay for it.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
I think the Twitter thing, I don't think it's going to affect any of us, like the way we use Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think gaming Twitter or like all the various communities, I don't think a lot of them are really going to be that impacted.
Yeah. I really hope that there are some benefits added for us smaller users.
Mike, he's saying that anyone can get verified, so we can have blue check marks.
Dude, there you go. That's something that could be good. I mean,
you don't have to have like 100,000 followers. You could just get one now.
Really? Like I get like
a threshold was because Twitter never
2 followers.
Twitter never told us how you get the check mark. You just get it. It's weird.
Well,
it's so
right.
weird.
I mean, there could
apply
be
for it. You just wake up one day and you're verified.
I mean, there could be a process like you have to submit this.
Yeah, there has to be a process, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Like I know people who got verified that like I didn't do anything. I just woke up one day and was verified somehow. Like, I don't know. Okay, good job, Twitter. You really made sure the person running that account is that person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of changes when it comes to us as regular users. Hopefully, it helps us creators, grow. You know what I mean? I heard him speak about some changes that the algorithm needs to kind of at least give everybody a fair chance at succeeding at growing on Twitter. I hope that's true, because if it is, then that means that we all have a fair chance at growing our communities on Twitter as well, and be able to expand our fan base, our influence.
When he mentioned that, I kept thinking, so you're going to do something that nobody else has ever been able to do.
Yeah, I mean, he actually invented. He made a rocket.
Facebook started out that way. Facebook pages started out that way. It was really easy for everyone to grow, and then it changed.
Yeah, I have a page on Facebook with over 200,000 people. The bad thing about Facebook is that they want you to pay.
Oh my God! It used to not be that way. You remember when it wasn't that way?
I remember. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like out of nowhere, I had like a million follower Facebook page, and it was insane.
Crazy.
So much engagement, so much interaction. One day, Zuck just flips a switch and says, "Oh, now we're going to cut everything down to 10%. Oh, you can still reach everyone, but you got to pay us now." It's like, what?
Yeah, you have to boost and pay to promote.
You have to pay to promote to your own likes on the page.
Oh. Exactly, to people who actually want to hear about you. That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one of those things where I'm just not. I don't know that it's bad. I don't know that it's good. I think it's just, hey, for people that have been wanting Twitter to change for a long time, sounds like there's going to be a bunch of changes coming.
Yep.
The question is, will the changes be good? Will they be bad? I think that's yet to be determined. I know one of the more controversial things is the whole free speech thing, because. Which, by the way, I'm not so sure that free speech should be considered controversial. But the problem, of course, is that free speech technically includes everything. If you want to break it down, that means hate speech is technically free speech.
Yeah.
And people have concerns over that. But maybe the whole verification, I don't know. I don't know if the verification thing is going to matter in some cases. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And if it's free speech to a point, and there are lines you can cross, or if it's just there are no lines you can cross, say whatever you want now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I think that there's
like YouTube. I can say a lot of things on YouTube. You guys, you hear me swear just on this, but I can swear, I can make sexual references, I can do all these, but there are still certain lines you can't cross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be an update when it comes to that area. I mean, I believe in 100% free speech, but when it comes to harassing people or saying anything, he did say free speech as long as it doesn't go outside the bounds of law. You know what I mean? And some of the laws that we have are very outdated from
that's
so long.
so I'm scared. It's like,
Exactly.
oh, so it's free speech. Basically, you can say
But-
why because the laws are so outdated.
But it's easy enough to just update the laws to include, you know, for example, hate, a lot of the hate speech that's
I also wonder,
basically, yeah,
because it's a private company, what laws he's talking about. Because usually you're going to run the company under a universal rule set for the whole world. And there are other countries that have laws against hate speech and all that stuff. So if he's going to take into consideration that, it might not actually be that bad, guys, in terms of the free speech. There might actually be a real line in the sand he just applies worldwide. But again, this is all like, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that most of us, honestly, when it flips and it's Elon Musk's Twitter, honestly, if you don't follow Elon Musk, I don't really know that you'll notice anything other than
What are you talking
every
about?
now and then there's a new thing.
What are you talking about? He's going to become the next
He's
MySpace
going to
Tom.
be the most suggested people.
He's going to be the next MySpace Tom, where everybody's following him anyways. It's going to force you to.
Well, I already follow him just because
Poor
I'm
Tom.
very interested in his eccentricness and the
Me too.
random things he bitches about. It's.
I like the tech. I like Tesla. I love.
I wish I would have
SpaceX.
listened to him on Dogecoin though. Damn it.
Right? Man.
I should have listened on that. Oh man, one of my biggest regrets is I didn't take $1,000 and just throw it in Dogecoin.
Dude, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Millions. That would have been insane. But
That's crazy. I was one of those. that like saw Bitcoin at cents, and I go, man, that's just never gonna come
if you would have
back.
got in on that so early on Bitcoin.
That's
I mean,
crazy,
even
man.
cashing out now, what is it, 30,000 per coin? Like, my God,
That's
it
crazy,
would have
man.
been. Would have been so nice. It would be like, there's your retirement. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't keep it in that. Once it got to a certain point, I'd pull it all out and then put it in a 401k or something like that. But just in case it ever crashes. But
Yeah.
I'm not worried about whatever happens. You know, I mean, there are a lot of people that are crazy worried about it. Maybe they have something to hide. Maybe they don't. You know, why worry? You know what I mean?
I mean, we can't ignore that a lot of the worries, I think, are a little bit politically skewed.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So some people worrying
yeah.
about a certain former president maybe being allowed back on, and
and also the New York Times, they were booted out too.
allowing them.
You know,
so like, there's a lot of people wondering, you know, are those people to be let back on? And I just go, hey, you know what? Here's what I one thing I do like about Twitter as it is today. It's not that they booted those people off. Fine, boot them off. But like, if I didn't want to listen to the former president, you know what there conveniently was? Click
unfollow.
Block. Click block. Oh, I don't want to hear anything about this person. Go to settings, set words that you don't want to see in your feed. I don't want to see former president's name. Slap it in there. You won't see any tweets again ever appear in your feed that have his name. They already gave you the tools to just ignore things you don't want to listen to anyways.
Yeah.
If people want to know that tool that lets you ignore every tweet with it, that's how you avoid spoilers for games on Twitter, by the way. Fun fact. Game leaks, you don't want to see it, but every variation you can think of that game's name in there, and you won't see any tweets about it. So you can still safely be on Twitter and avoid spoilers. So just a fun tip for people who didn't know that existed. That tool's out there. So yeah, I never really thought it was that big of a deal anyway, since we could just literally ignore. And some people go, well, that's what about building a fan base of hate? I'm like, look, people hate. I always go, people hate the hate. Like those people exist already. It's just an echo chamber. If everyone who doesn't like that stuff blocks all those people, it's just an echo chamber. That echo chamber exists anyways, right? So I don't know. But again, also if there's certain policies, maybe those people can't come back. Depends on what those policies end up becoming. So it's going to be interesting to see what Elon Musk does with Twitter. I think in some ways there'll be some good changes, in some ways there'll be some bad, like there is with every major change. Like I think as an example, I could see him eventually giving us the edit button, saying that should be free. Yeah. But then I can also see him maybe restricting in a different way. So it's always going to be. This is why I'm with the wait and see approach. I think for most of us, we're not. It's like a lot of laws that get passed. For a lot of us, we don't notice any differences.
Yeah.
Tons of laws get passed every month in every state, federally, and most of us don't notice a damn thing. Our lives don't change at all. And I think that's going to be the case here with Twitter. A lot of things might happen, a lot of things might not happen, and for a vast majority of people who use Twitter, we won't notice a damn thing. We'll just continue to use Twitter like we always have and move on with our day. And if we happen to get more followers, sweet. If we don't, we don't. If we get banned, most of us aren't going to cry about it. We'll just move on.
Oh, what an account. But you know what? The main thing about the entire thing is we just have to learn that it's okay to disagree.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's okay to disagree. I get tired of people who, if you don't agree with their choices or whatever they do or whatever they say, they see you as devils. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, we are all different people from different backgrounds. I might not agree with how they live on the other side of the earth, but that's them. I'm here with my own family. You know, it doesn't mean that I don't love you.
I mean, this applies to everything, like console wars.
Exactly.
Sports debates. Like, okay, the debaters are fine, but some of the fans are so vitriolic towards each other.
Yeah, and it does, and there is fun in competition, but it's okay to disagree. It is okay.
There's fun
to disagree.
There's fun in a little bit of ribbing and here and there. And
there's one thing for some jeer and all good fun. Like when, like one of the traditions when you go to the Packer Bears games is when you're at Lambeau Field is people are going to chant after the game whether the Packers win or lose, the Bears still suck. The Bears, like, it's just a tradition. And Bears fans, what do you see when the Packers do? They're just smiling. Because they know it's just in good fun. It's just a tradition. Nobody's really offended by it. They're more offended by Rodgers telling the whole fan base he owns them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Even though he's 20-3 and
well, remember when we were at
he's not lying.
Remember when we were at the Dodgers Brewers game and those little kids were just giving us so much crap because
awesome.
I mean they had to be 13 to 15 somewhere in that area and they were just giving us so much crap.
That was awesome. But
we're just like clapping back at them. We're like, there we go. I mean,
but here's the thing.
It was all fun.
But not all sports fans are that way.
Oh no, for sure.
Not all video game fans are that way.
Oh, for sure.
Some people get so serious about it and start hating, and like it's just it's not good. And I mean, obviously, like politics as an example, like that's obviously one of the most, I think one of the most vitriolic realm. Like the reason we don't talk politics or religion is because there's so much vitriol behind it. Like people can't seem to just agree to disagree. Like it's okay. Like if I believe what I believe and you believe in what you believe politically or religiously, who cares? That's what works for you. I'm not here to convince. Like I think people feel like we have to convince people to think like us, and it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You could tell them why you think the way you do, and they'll tell you why they think the way you do. And if your mind gets changed one way or another, cool. But if not, we need to be okay with not being able to change people's minds.
That is okay. Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
I don't think most people are okay with the fact that they can't change people's minds. So they legitimately get really angry at the other side for not agreeing with them. And it's like, what's the point of that anger? That anger isn't going to get you anything.
Yeah, some
might shorten your life. There's that.
It will because you spend your entire life focusing on somebody else's opinion rather than your own happiness and just living your life and doing the best you can. So it's true. We could like in all reality we could be like, for example, we can have a Christian, we can have a Jewish, we can have a Muslim sitting together having a conversation. Okay, we can have any people from different races just having conversation, just talking and agreeing that it's okay to disagree. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter at the end. At the end, we are all in this little ball, just floating in space
for a very short time. Yeah,
we all look exactly the same on the inside. If I die today and I'm a donor, guess what? I can give my heart to somebody who I don't care where they came from, what they look like or who they are. You know what I mean? We all look exactly the same on the inside, and I think when we realize that that's who we are, then we teach that to our kids growing up. Look, guess what? The world is full of people. And that's all you need to know. People. Respect people. Love people. Do what you can for others. And guess what? And hope that others follow the same exact rules. And we'll be fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, let's get to a couple fan questions to stop. As Paul Gale Network said, what do you think will come out first? The Mario movie or Breath of the Wild sequel? Question for all of us. Let me see. We know when Mario's coming. That's April.
April 7th, I believe.
Can you repeat the question?
Which is going to come out first, the Mario movie or Breath of the Wild sequel?
Breath of the Wild, I think.
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild is coming in March. I think it's going to come out before the end of the fiscal year.
I think so. I think so too. March.
Yeah.
So if
not
the
just
other one's
that,
in
but
April.
then it coincides again with what year 6 of.
Well, if
Well,
March 3rd, if it lands, it'll be the 6th anniversary. But I don't know that it'll come out exactly on March 3rd.
Well, no, but in the March area time frame would make sense then for the
And Nintendo
6th
always has a
anniversary
major
type thing.
game come out right before the end of the fiscal year.
Right.
So I think that right now it's the only game we know of. So that's what
There is that.
March 17th.
All right.
St. Patrick's Day.
I'm doing
St.
that.
Patrick's Day.
Let me see here. Vitrafis says, without Breath of the Wild 2 and the Mario movie, what's Nintendo's big holiday project other than Pokemon?
Upgraded Switch.
Upgraded Switch. That'd be nice.
How sold are you on that being the big holiday thing?
I'm 70%.
Do you have any reason to be 70%, or is it just hope?
This is hope.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure. I mean,
70%.
I want there to be a pro or something, but I'm kind of in the camp of a lot of people that, hey, if it comes, sweet, but I'm not really thinking about it anymore. Like,
yeah.
I'll cover some news or rumors that crop up when they do, but like I'm not really spending my days. There's a reason it hasn't been a topic on the podcast for a long time. Like, I'm not spending my days thinking about it anymore. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't.
As much as people at the beginning bashed the OLED, when I got that OLED in my hands, I was excited. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. When I got that OLED and I was unboxing that Switch OLED, new console, new hardware, it was exciting for me. Yeah, it was exciting for me. So I know exactly. But there's a Switch hardware coming, update coming, like a version 2, a Switch OLED version 2.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Interesting.
I don't know that there will be anything.
Pokemon, and that's it. I mean,
I think Pokemon 1 can carry a holiday by itself. I don't think they need anything else.
For sure.
2, I think Sparks of Hope is coming out October or December.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Zelda.
Bayonetta 3 sometime in that future.
True.
I don't know that they need it. I would love for there to be like Pokemon remakes or something but I don't know that Nintendo needs anything else for holiday. I think they're fine. I think that's one reason why Zelda got moved. They just have so much they don't need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just speculation. I mean, again, there could be something. I just don't know that there will be because Sparks of Hope is still going to be a big seller. Bayonetta 3, I don't think it's going to be a huge seller, but I think it's going to be the best selling Bayonetta to date. And obviously we know Pokemon's going to kill it, so I'm not so sure they need anything else. I mean, they kick off with Splatoon 3 literally in September. And you could literally go like October could be Bayonetta 3, November Pokemon, Sparks of Hope December. Like that's literally could just be the holiday slate right there. Like they don't need anything else.
Mm-hmm. True.
There could be more. I hope there's more. I'll welcome more.
Yeah.
I just don't know that like any major thing's gonna replace like what are they gonna replace Breath of the Wild and the Mario movie with? Why do they have to?
A trailer for Metroid Prime 4.
All they did, all it kind of feels like is they're just stretching their momentum out more. Oh, they already have enough to fill now, and then they have things kicking off next year that are killer. So they're just spreading it out. They're being smart. I think I don't know that they need more. But hey, you can give me more, Nintendo. I'll take it. Have that summer direct. Surprise me with games we don't know about yet. I will drop a Fire Emblem. Let's go. New Fire Emblem game that isn't Warriors. Let's go. I'm all in on that. Let's see here. We had a couple super chats come in. Thank you, Renaissance Ninja. I said, did a vid about beat 'em ups shilling. Take it down. What?
Did you make a video about beat 'em ups shilling? Didn't data get taken down? And that might be what
I've never had beat 'em ups has never taken out any of my videos, and the only video that exists was one where I covered how some people got the wrong.
Me included.
Yeah, the wrong thing that they ordered, his Satisfy grip, and in that video I defended him, saying that I don't really blame beat 'em ups for it. It's more so on Satisfy. So honestly, it was more like people were getting mad at beat 'em ups, and I kind of sort of defended him. And beat 'em ups even took that video as I was attacking him, which means he didn't watch the video, which is fine. I don't really expect him.
I wonder if he watched mine. We probably watched mine, but didn't say anything. They were, these guys are just little.
Well, I just know because he specifically brought up that apparently I shit talked him before, and I'm like, but I didn't. You didn't watch my video. Yeah. Like, thanks for just confirming that you are mad at me over something you didn't watch.
Renaissance Ninja did the video
He did the
apparently.
video.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
He did. Okay.
Yeah. So that's your video, man. You do you.
And
should you take it down? I don't know. That's up to you. I haven't watched it. I don't know your content.
The Renaissance Ninja feels that they're right about what they said about, but beat 'em ups may think it's harsh.
I mean, hey, if you believe, I always say, if you look, I'm not here to attack other YouTubers unless they were doing really, really shitty things like Quantum TV. So, bottom line is, man, if you believe in your content, you believe in your content. Leave it alone.
There you go. That's
Renaissance Ninja also said, "I love the light and OLED more than my PS4." So I just want to get the super chats in quick. Super chats always jump to the top of the pile, by the way, guys. We had a member chat as well saying, "Watch Magical Princess Minky Momo." Have you guys ever seen that?
Never.
Not
First time I hear about it.
Nope.
First time I hear about it.
Have to Google that. Boot the Newt wants us to briefly talk about, can you and the co-host discuss the possibility of analog triggers on Nintendo's next system? I would like them. However, if the system is still primarily portable, I don't think they're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a point of failure if you drop it.
True. Very true.
I think people forget about that. As much as analog triggers are amazing, when you have something that you're holding in your hand all the time and looking down at and be bumped at and maybe not pay attention and kids are going to play, when you drop something that has a physical analog trigger in it, that trigger is easily breakable. Happened with GameCube controllers all the time. When people would throw them, like, the one thing that would break is the trigger. That was the most common thing to break when you threw a GameCube controller. I go, we're not talking about throwing switches. No. We're talking about dropping them.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah.
Now, if it's back to being a home console, that's different.
As I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Nintendo just found the sweet spot in between. Yeah.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be for maybe.
But then again, Nintendo never goes back on their on prior controller designs, or even, I mean, they're trying to innovate with anything they release, so we might see something new. I would really love for them to focus on these joysticks. Like the controller from
that's the biggest thing people want.
Yeah. So is it Git something? What the company you have the Are they Are they the patent holders for that technology from the joysticks?
Oh, their specific ones, yes.
It wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo would just.
And they're willing to license it out. They got no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's something that I feel like Nintendo should kind of really.
We're talking Hall Sensor joysticks, Ghoulie Kit, King Kong 2 Pro controller. Thing's amazing. Still to this day, the best controller for Switch in my opinion. And after we did our video on it, they sold out. So
nice. Yeah. But that would also mean Nintendo would have to admit there's something wrong with their joysticks on their Joy-Cons. So, I mean.
Well, they sort of have by saying that we'll repair them all for free outside of warranty. Like, Nintendo knows there's a problem, and they also said our new Joy-Cons on Switch OLED have improved the drift. So they kind of sort of admitted that it's a problem without... Like, they're being very careful with their words because there's lawsuits going on over it. Thank you, Kyle3N037 for the $2. I appreciate it, bud.
It's not that the repair process is not that bad. I've had Joy-Cons sent and repaired, and then within a week I've had them back. Sometimes they gave me brand new ones, even different colors. So,
but there's controversy apparently. With them being like overworked.
Oh well,
not underpaid per se, but overworked. And so they have high turnover rate because Nintendo put a restriction of 4-day turnaround, and when they have too many Joy-Cons for the number of employees they have, it's like impossible.
I agree. Yeah.
So some people have actually gotten really crappy repairs back, and it's kind of unfortunate. They used to just send you a new Joy-Con. That's actually how they used to deal with it. Oh, you sent us a Joy-Con, we're going to send you a new one. But obviously that's not very cost prohibitive for Nintendo to do that.
Oh God, no.
Especially when you have thousands coming in per week. That's a lot of cost to eat. And then Natsu wants our thoughts on the rumors. I don't even know this rumor, so this is news to me. That Splatoon 3 won't have amiibo support. If you haven't heard about this, the info can be found on Reddit. I will go to the Nintendo Switch Reddit and see what's up with that. But apparently there might not be amiibo support for Splatoon 3. What does that mean to you guys?
I disagree.
Okay, but what if it is true?
If it's true,
I think it means anything.
I think it means a lot. I think the amiibo character, the characters in Splatoon 3, they're already amiibos out there, and they'll just be losing on some revenue when it comes to amiibos. Because can you imagine if there's some certain weapons that you can only get with that amiibo, a really cool weapon, or a really cool move, or something that you can unlock with that amiibo in Splatoon 3. Maybe some of these moves that we just saw in the trailer or that little play on Nintendo YouTube could be unlocked with an amiibo. You know what I mean? I think amiibos are really a really cool, not only collectible, really cool asset to get things and items, but also collectible, things that look good on your shelf. And I feel like if Nintendo does not put amiibos in Splatoon 3, then they're just missing out.
So I found the rumor. Just to get the background era here, this is on the official Amiibo Reddit. It says, end of an era. It looks like Splatoon 3 will not support Amiibo. There is one reliable way to tell if a game has Amiibo support pre-release, by checking the additional features section of the game's eShop details. Surround sound, touchscreen, Me, and Amiibo support are almost always listed if the game supports them.
Almost always.
From the moment that the pre-order goes live, so like when they officially go live. The Japanese page for Splatoon 3 went up today. This was posted 4 days ago. And there's mention of surround sound, but not Amiibo support. So unless something is in the works for post-launch, it's almost certain the title won't have any Amiibo functions, or at least in this case, it would be at launch. Nintendo has been winding down on Amiibo support in general, which I would say is roughly true. We are not getting nearly as many. I mean, if Super Smash Bros. Ultimate did exist, there's been barely any Amiibo releases outside of that, especially compared to the Wii U days. So that seems to be the basis of all of this, is that there is not, and as an example, they do put a proof of that Nintendo does list it. Nintendo's page for Kirby in the Forgotten Land does list Amiibo support, and it does have Amiibo support in the game. So I guess that's where it's coming from. It's basically, hey, look, this game is one of the few that doesn't have it listed. And
it does say right in there, almost always. So not always.
Well, I think
almost
that's
always.
More of a, they can't verify it because they'd have to have been able to have gone back and check every single game before it came out.
No, I get it.
Like a, we're not going to say always because that means you definitively know. But, so that seems to be where that comes from. And I'll say this, I don't really care if it has Amiibo support or not. Don't care. Amiibos, to me, should just be collectibles. That's all they should have ever been.
Yeah.
They should have just been collectibles. I don't know about you guys. I've never liked Amiibo support in games. I always thought it was stupid. Oh, you could bring some Smash character data over to a friend's house. Okay, and why can't I just go online for that? Why do I have to carry a physical item for that? That makes no sense. Why can't I just log on my account on the system and have my data? Why do I need an Amiibo?
No.
Oh, why does hard mode in a game got to be locked behind an Amiibo? Why do we have to have extra drops? Epona in Breath of the Wild locked behind an Amiibo. Why?
Yeah.
To sell them, obviously, but why? People were buying them anyways.
Right.
I don't know. I've never liked anything being locked behind it, because when you lock things behind Amiibo, how is that any different than microtransactions?
There are certain benefits to Amiibos, and this I could argue for. Let's say games like Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Amiibos have been like a really big help in that game. For example, there are characters you want to get. There are certain characters you want to collect to come to your island. They have Amiibo cards for those characters you can scan and invite them to your island to have coffee and do things like that. Like just to have them over.
Why can't we just have a way to do that without Amiibo? Why do we specifically need Amiibo to do this?
In my opinion, my girls, both of them, they play Animal Crossing: New Horizons, and they both have Amiibos. They love the action that they can take the little toy and just tap it on their Switch. They're amazed by the magic that happens after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. For little kids, yeah.
So yeah. So it's just like it's that thing. It's just like when you go to Disney and you tap your wristband to something and something magical happens. For certain kids, for certain people, they love that fact. They like to have something physical. Just tap it here and wow, look at this. I have this character now on my game. Just by having this character here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends how you look at it. I'm looking at it as a child because I'm a little kid, you know.
I hear
But
you. I look at it
yeah.
as a child sometimes, but then I also look at it as an adult. That one, amiibo are expensive. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
And they're not always readily available. And some of them, once they're sold out on the initial batch, which are sometimes right before the game even comes out, you never see them again.
Yeah, and I think they should go do. This is something I don't know, and it's a question I'm asking. Does Splatoon have amiibo cards as well, or just the figurines?
That I'm not sure. I know there's fan-made ones because they're just NFC chips, right, guys? Like you can.
Yeah. I
know there's fan-made ones, but I don't know if there's official Splatoon amiibo cards. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't. Are these official? Hold on, let me click this. I definitely know there's fan-made ones. Yeah, those ones are not available. Those are definitely not official ones. I'm not sure if there's actually official ones. Animal Crossing made a big deal. You can buy card packs and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there is actually official ones for Splatoon.
I
think they're mostly just fan-made ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and amiibo cards are a lot cheaper. They're like $4 for a pack, and I think you have like 8 in one. That could be another way around it. Nintendo can go about bringing amiibos to Splatoon or to any other game, you know.
Yeah. And like amiibos were, kind of a thing Nintendo started doing around the time that a lot of companies were doing Toys to Life still. Disney Infinity and all that stuff. And those were always really cool concepts for games, but none of them really seemed to catch on and stick around, hence why Toys to Life sort of died out. Well, hence why it was also extremely weird when Starlink Battle for Atlas was announced as a Toys to Life game. That was a very interesting time to announce it when Toys to Life had died out. Which, by the way, Starlink Battle for Atlas, the toys are really, really cool.
Yeah, they are.
But thankfully they made it so you don't need the toys.
Yeah, for sure.
You can get things cheaper in-game. And I always found that to be quite interesting because Nintendo, unlike Starlink Battle for Atlas, doesn't give you the ability to get them without the amiibo. A lot of the things they lock behind it, you can only get if you have the amiibo. And that has always been my big problem. I guess I don't mind, like, if your daughters, as an example, like, they want to tap an amiibo on to be able to invite that character to their game and have a coffee and get them to move into their town. That's cool. I just don't think that should be the only way it's done.
Yeah.
Why is amiibo the only way we can make that happen? Why can't there be a way in-game? If it's not a purchasable way, say you earn it. X amount of bells, you can invite. Here's the list of characters, and you can invite them to come to your town. Because you're paying for their. They could argue you're paying for their plane ticket or whatever it takes to get there, because they can't afford to come or something. Because you abandoned them in your old town. You abandoned them. You left them. You left them back in your old towns. I don't know.
I want to play Splatoon 3 VR.
Splatoon 3 VR.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be cool, right? With all that color splashing around.
Dude, someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna put that game in VR. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna custom. It's gonna be sweet. So yeah, I think that's. Maybe we'll take one more topic here.
Not sure if there was one.
What?
I'm not sure if there was anymore.
There was. I skipped over a couple. Because I wasn't sure if we were gonna get to. Well, we'll take one more here. I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling up here to the one topic I wanted to get to. Let's see here. Where is it? So they removed their comment. They deleted their comment. Okay. Oh, well, Boot the Nude has one more. It says, do you think Nintendo will join Microsoft since they're already really close? No. Microsoft already had tried to buy Nintendo once, right? Nintendo laughed. Nintendo actually took the meeting, and this has already been put out there in an interview. Nintendo took the meeting and laughed in their face.
I can see that.
Wow.
I can see that.
So Nintendo legitimately met with Microsoft to hear their proposal on buying Nintendo. This is before the Xbox came out. They met with them to hear their proposal, and Nintendo literally laughed. I
remember that. I remember that story.
The execs laughed at Microsoft. No. They will never sell to Microsoft. And this isn't because Nintendo doesn't like Microsoft. Clearly, they have a friendly relationship.
Yeah.
That's been obvious. Nintendo's been on board with the cross-platform play, better together. We all know that with the Minecraft stuff. Obviously, it was a big deal to get Cuphead and Ori and everything else. from the indie scene that Microsoft funded when those guys wanted to go to Switch. Microsoft said sure. Nintendo was more than happy to receive, and now as I said, June 10th, we know for sure that Summer Game Fest is going on that day, and we're going to hear news on games that are on Switch that day because of it, and one of them is Cuphead and the DLC, which we got from Microsoft, so that's really cool. But I do think that the idea that Nintendo would ever let themselves be bought out by any company is extremely laughable.
Yeah, they'd rather become a Sega than get bought out.
I think they'd rather go out of business
Yeah.
than give it up.
Yeah, because they have their
controlling
IPs.
stake in Nintendo is still held by the founding family.
Yeah.
They still own the controlling stake in Nintendo, and they're never selling. They're
I love
the
that.
family that founded the company. They basically have nothing to do with Nintendo anymore. And they will never sell it. It's sitting in a trust fund ran by the Yamauchi family, and they're never selling.
Yep.
Now, not saying there's not a possibility that the Yamauchi family can't ever die out, and then whoever inherits it from there might not want to sell out. But it's going to be so past our lifetimes because there's already several generations of Yamauchi family just alive right now. Like, it doesn't really feel like that family line's dying out anytime soon. So, I would say that is highly unlikely to ever happen, regardless of how friendly they are with other companies. I would say it's more likely Nintendo would buy Sega than Nintendo ever being sold to anybody else. And I don't think Nintendo buying Sega is even that likely.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Talking about how Microsoft is, how even when Nintendo laughed at Microsoft's face, they still have this great relationship. I think it's because how Microsoft is
changed too.
Yeah. They're a very good company. They're very friendly, very open to discussion and to
I think people like
collaboration.
Shigeru Miyamoto legitimately like Phil Spencer. I think they get along.
Yeah.
We know they've had meetings and they've talked, so I think they get along. But
there's
getting along is different than giving up your independence.
There's also rumors, these rumors are so old that there's this other company who plays good with nobody, who actually pays developers under the table to delay game launches on other devices. And there's two games who were supposed to come for the Switch, announced on Nintendo Direct, that all of a sudden say, oh, we can't come to the Switch yet because we're working on this and this and this and this and that. But when you look at where they are, they're at Sony. So I'm like,
oh, you mean
both of them.
Sony still has a grudge with Nintendo?
It's
they might say nice things publicly, but grudge. I'm sure they love when Mario jumped out of the pipe at the announcement of the Olympics being hosted by Japan. I'm sure they were super thrilled about that. Super thrilled. I know it all got messed up because of COVID, but I'm just saying, super thrilled that Nintendo somehow was what Japan chose to represent their country.
Yeah.
Nintendo is the richest company in Japan for a reason. They're highly respected. I think Sony. I wonder if Sony gets jealous of the respect Nintendo has in their own country.
I think so.
Possible.
I think
there's an innate jealousy because Sony's a bigger company, but Nintendo's bigger in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting.
I made a video with that topic, okay? Because I pointed that out. Like, why is it that?
You can go link your video in the chat. You're good. Let the people know. Go find it.
But there's a comment from one of the teams, from somebody who works in one of the teams for one of these games that I mentioned.
This is news to me too, so I kind of want to. I might have to make a video on this. I'll have to find you. Yeah, that's one reason why I want you to link your video, so I don't have to go find it.
Let me go find it. But while I go find it, they left a comment saying, I know everybody's excited. Hi, Nintendo Academy. I know everybody's excited about this game coming to the platform, and we're looking forward to bringing it to blah blah blah. But something. I'm like, wow, you didn't really deny what I said. You just kind of,
talked around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gave you the runaround.
Oh, the absolute PR.
Going around town.
The absolute PR statement. I'm going to slightly dodge this question and answer another one that I want. Exactly. That I thought you answered.
They completely dodged. They dodged the entire thing. I'm like, really, dude? You know,
could just like it, even give just a base. We don't comment on rumors or
Right.
Just say
something like
no.
that. Yeah,
just say no. If it's not true, just say no. It's not true. They don't have to tell you what the reasons are. Just no, it's not true. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Link in description. Look at that. Look at what they wrote there.
Link in description.
I mean, not link in description. Link in the chat. Link in description.
Oh, hold on. It probably hit it. You're an official co-host. You get to become a mod. There. Now you can link it because it auto deleted because you weren't a mod.
All right.
Now you can link it.
All right.
Welcome to Modship, by the way. See, guys, all you gotta do is become an official co-host and you become a mod. Everyone want to know how you become a mod. But notice he did not ask to be a mod.
Yeah.
That is something I said you can't ask. All right.
Oops. That's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, hey, you linked your back end.
I linked my back
Yeah,
end.
studio.youtube.com/watch.
Okay. Let me go ahead and.
Yeah, you gotta grab the actual. It's like on the right or something like that. Yeah. I know it gets confusing when you're grabbing it from the back end.
There you go.
Because it's easier. It's funny how much easier it is to search your own channel from the back end than it is the front end.
Right? Yeah.
Why don't front end users have the same tools? I don't. Like, I'm trying to find this video you made. Oh yeah, I can find it in 2 seconds. I don't know why you can't.
Yeah.
There's reasons.
Some people's front end is just so much smaller.
God, you linked Studio again, by the way. You double linked YouTube Studio.
What?
That's weird.
I did?
Yeah, it linked to it again when I clicked on it.
Did I
Maybe my thing's broken. Let me click one more
I
time.
think your shit's broken, dude.
Yeah,
wait. Let me delete this. You know what? I don't know why it's bumping up Studio. Maybe it's because I'm clicking on it in the back end of YouTube Studio.
That's probably it.
There it is.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say the first time he did it too was just fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, we're good to go.
Yeah.
It works. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the podcast this week, episode 48. I hope that everybody really, really enjoyed it. It was a bit of an extra long episode this week, a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but that's totally fine because we actually talked about quite a few stuff. Obviously, some amazing Nintendo news and lots of speculation, and obviously some pretty serious topics on some other things, and had some nice messages in there about maybe let's not kill each other for disagreeing on things. That's
exactly
kind of a big deal. And I like that we're kind of all in agreement of that. If you notice, the kind of community and the kind of people I foster and bring to my channel seem to all be in universal agreement that we shouldn't destroy each other for not agreeing on things. Like, even when Player Essence and I have debates, guys, and at the end of the debate, it's all water under the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
We get passionate, we make our statements, and that's it. We're still cool. Nothing's really wrong. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. You can follow me on Twitter at NintyPrime. Obviously, check out our podcast channel, Nintendo Prime Podcast, on YouTube. It's linked down in the description. You could follow Nintendo Academy. I will just pop the link up. His link is also down in the description as well for the chat. I will put it up one more time. And Eric, you can follow him on Twitter
at emo8790.
Yeah. I have a question. Is 8790 just random?
No, Jordan Nelson, BJ Raji.
Okay, I was like, knowing you, it's Packers.
Yeah,
but I had to double check because I'm like, I wonder if he was trying to be clever with something. No. It's just exactly what I expected. Yeah. Exactly what I expected. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, for those who know, those are former Packer players, both retired.
Yeah.
And Raji left under weird circumstances.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll catch you in the next episode next week, episode 49. And hey, guys, we're 2 weeks away from episode 50. Woo! Awesome. To the half-century mark. I'm pretty excited about that.
Right,
We're
right.
to make a big deal out of the half-century mark. Because, it'll almost be a whole year away before we get to 100.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. I think 100 might actually almost line up with the next Prime Gaming Fest. I don't know. I'm just saying, it conveniently might work out.
Maybe.
All right, guys. Catch you in the next episode.
Later.
Later.
Peace out.